Hello everyone. How are we doing? Sorry, I'll be with you guys properly in a moment. Just getting a couple things set up. I just wanted you guys to know I am here. Just waiting for a couple moments for the Chinese stream anyway. That is where we are at right now, so bear with us. Hopefully get resumed ASAP. Alright, looks like the guys are ready. Hello guys. Hello. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a morning. So we're gonna get going. Hi. Can get rid of the Star Trek now. Do that in game as well. Why can you check the Star Trek leveling grants you money? If you downloaded it through my link, it will 100% have granted money. It is now over. It ended about an hour ago. So any levels you get from now will not count. But if you did it and you download through my link, it 100% works. I see a bunch of people have done it in the last 24 hours. If you did it in the last 24 hours, you got to level 6, second ship, some level 2s. There's a bunch of those I see, so it's very likely worked. But it is over now, so it will work no longer. Alright, let's get going. So, bottom left-hand side of the big Liuli Cup. First match of today is going to be Mana, our Blue Protoss player, taking on that good old tournament favorite Serral. As we get into our opening games, let me get this all started up, ready to rumble. Let's cast some Starcraft 2 here today. Good to see you guys again. Thanks for being here. Let's get this rolling. Yeah, excited to dive on into it. As we get off and away. So, Serral versus Mana, best of 3. I'm going to jump onto a camera here and get some observing, because I'm in no mental state to observe right now. So, yeah. We'll just go from there and figure out how we do. How things are going to be going. Perfect. Alright. Again, hello guys. Hope we're all doing well. Thanks for joining us. Sound? Yep, there you go. I can indeed put the sound on. That is something I'm capable of. Amazing. Alright, progress being made right here. How are we doing? Hello. Good to see you guys, like I say. Excited to get us into some games. We missed Group A of this because, well, you might have heard that they scheduled right over the top of WardiTV Mondays. That was due to Oliveira wanting to retire on Monday and refusing to play the tournament any later. So, they either had Oliveira forfeiting, or they moved their tournament schedule over the top of ours. So, kind of a shitty situation. I still think it's kind of weird, but it happened. It's whatever. It's done. And here we are now, ready to continue through. play some more games. So, away we go. It's going to be seeing our Cybercore coming up. You can see the Queen, the Ling Speed coming through as well. So we continue to get all of that on the go here just for a few moments as we settle down in these first few moments. And again, just going to get our Queen and our Lings moving out onto the map. Is that going to be there to get pushed back a little bit as well? So we do go for a little bit of back and forth so far. Just try to see what and where and how we're going to be doing here as we get established. Just going to see the Ling. Going to poke away for a little bit. The Nexus coming online as well, so we bring that up and running. And yeah, Nexus just dropping down. Just going to be seeing the probes coming through. Nice starting point for us here as the Oracle going to get a little bit of an energy recharge. Robo Facility coming up. The Spore Crawlers coming into play. Yeah, that Twilight Council continue to come out as well, so we continue to get that settled too. As we just have Robo, Twilight, Nexus all building here for mana on the back of this single Oracle. So just pretty quick switch from him into that next step here. Not too surprising, in all honesty. Let's just have a couple Queens going to turn around. They're just going to push that Oracle away. So already Oracle getting shoved back over in the other direction just to start us off. And again, extra gateways coming down. So it's going to be a pretty big commitment here in the end from mana when it comes to those gateway numbers, right? Going to get up to 4 and definitely will have some pressure potential off this Temple Archives and so we'll be trying to take advantage of exactly that here in the next few moments. We'll see just how well we can do from there. As the Rotoron, the Lair coming up as well, drones, Lings, the Overlord continue to produce at the moment as we get settled down in these early stages. Again, first games of this Group B. This is just a GSL style group double elimination. 2 players out of 4 will advance through to the playoffs, so that is what we're working with here. There's that drone caught on that stasis. It's going to be caught up a little bit. A couple of Archons coming through as well. The assimilator still building up. Continue to get all of that into play as those Archons are about to finish. And we should be able to go. Let's just see ourselves. The Ling's going to run straight through with the counter-attack already coming in. I mean, this is just as Mana's focusing across the map, so now he's going to have to bring some attention back over here. So that's going to be an immediate frustration for Mana, having to play away from where he was just trying to play. And, you know, he's going to lose the battery. He does get some defense going, just about saves that Archon. Trying to warp in Zealots to get defensive with right now, or get aggressive with. I just don't see that going anywhere at all, and yeah, I don't think Mana really sees it going anywhere either. He started to back away from that very quickly. No charge or anything yet, right? So we're a long way from really seeing that being super effective or impactful. And let's just have our Ling's going to run through one more time. And just going to come straight across. And away they go. Oracle's firing up a few more shots. The Ling's still taking some damage. So a few more hits continue to come in. We just have ourselves the, again, Storm Charge, +1 attack upgrade, Immortal Robo Facility. All of that continuing through for the moment. We bring everything into play just for now. And we continue to get set up. So far, so good. Again, looking pretty for the moment. Long way to go, though. As Serral is getting those roach numbers going, that is going to mean that we're at that point of getting across and trying to maybe even deal some damage. And that could be a problem on the side of... yeah, it could be a problem on the side of Mana very shortly. So we will see how that develops. That moves through. The Roaches, the Queen, and extra drones all coming across as well. It's just continuing to go. Archon's going to drop down. The Observer overhead. A couple of creep teamers getting knocked as we speak. And again, the meters, roach speed, and the +1 missiles. Also continuing through there as the little Revelation goes down. Going to hit a few Lings, going to hit a few Queens. Now these Roaches going to show up. A couple of probes are going down as well. The Archons will drop off. And we will chase down those Roaches just for a moment or two. Taking a second. Just gotta be, you know, ready to push that back as Serral is tacking up into Infestation Pit, into the Hydra Den, to definitely get into that point where he wants to be able to keep on applying pressure and dealing damage, while also attacking into a better later game army. And I love it. Just a little dive like this. Serral gonna get rewarded for some activity just by nearly catching an Immortal. And that is exactly why you kind of stay aggressive in these scenarios as the Zerg player, looking for moments like that. For a couple of Protoss units are just rallying across to each other and all the rest. So now the mutas show up off the Spire. It's actually pretty well defended initially by Mana, even getting a few kills mixed in there. So that part of this goes pretty darn well. It's just continuing across. As do you see a couple of mortals coming up. The Stargate is on the way in as well. The Phoenix coming through too. He's going to try and get on top of the couple of immortals there, and everything again gathering up. Ling Roach going to jump onto this Nexus over here, so that's going to go down. This Nexus will indeed fall. That is going to be a cleanup. And again, a couple more mortals also still just continuing out. +2 attack upgrade as well. Still got that Lurker Den, still got that Hive. Still got the few extra drones in production as the Hives continue to come about. +2 missiles, and again, the muscular augments coming through. Drop another hatchery in. Just going to see those Lurkers now on the way through as well. Just going to continue to bring that into action here. Get that up and rolling as, again, the Fleet Beacon comes into play as well. That Fleet Beacon going to give us a whole new layer of tech now to kind of work on throughout the course of this. So, just going to get that ready to roll. Get this all settling. Going to be seeing the Phoenix trying to fire for me. To be fair, I don't think Serral's really planning on continuing to utilize these mutas deeper into the game. So I feel like he's kind of just trading them out at this point. He's just like, you know what, they've done their thing. Just see a little bit of Ling Roach running in here. Just going to jump on this incoming 4th base. Mana is pushing at the same time on the other side of the map, so is also looking to see if he can maybe continue to get some damage done for the next few moments. As you just see how a Spinecrawler force is going to go through onto a chunk of those Zealots as well. It's just going to jump on those. Again, get a little bit more damage done. The Immortals and Zealots all gathering together. Oh, the High Templar got left behind and they get jumped on. They drop a Storm or so, but that's really not impactful in the grand scheme of things compared to what this probably was meant to be looking like. It's rough. Storms all over the place. Those Roaches taking damage. Shots continue to come through there. And, Mana, like I say, just kind of getting bullied. Just, you know, I feel like Mana's actually has some fairly good defense overall. It's just little things are kind of getting through and piercing the other side, and that's really putting him into a little bit of a tougher spot overall. It's making this a lot more difficult for him. Lurker's coming back around. Changeling's going to burrow up. I mean, obviously with Lurkers, it's a whole new army comp that Mana now has to figure out and handle. He is on his way to Tempest. Tempests are going to be kind of the way for him to try and fight back against this and to try and protect himself and to deal with those Lurkers from afar without running into too many issues, hopefully would be the prospect there. Let's see if more Tempest shots coming around, a few more hits coming through. Again, we just take a few moments here as Lurkers and Hydra set up to come down to the bottom, so just going to take position. Set up right there, have ourselves the base. Going to get knocked down immediately, so Mana going to get knocked back down to essentially 3 bases. He's got a base coming in bottom right, but it's not done yet, and it's far enough away that I'm pretty convinced if Serral knew about it, it would not last 2 seconds, so don't feel like that's going to end well for Mana either, as a stasis ward comes down. Just going to see the couple Hydras going to get caught in that stasis as well. The Lurker's still trying to press through. The Roaches are stepping up. More Storm coming through onto those Lurkers. Hatchery is indeed dead. Corruptors finding their way in. Just going to nab the Observer there. Again, those Lurkers continue to knock at the front door, making some very good progress through. Tempest overhead. Need to figure out what it is that they're going to be doing. There goes one more Tempest already. Getting get rid of these few Lurkers at least, but again, Serral's done a lot in this game, so he's kind of in a position where he's affording the ability to kind of, you know, take some losses as we go. It's going to be seeing those Tempests still fighting through. Another Storm coming down. Corruptors getting absolutely blasted. He's going to continue back up again. The Tempest on the way over. Getting on range to knock down that hatchery, so that falls pretty swiftly, to be fair. Could have been a much worse situation for sure. The Storms have been pretty good on the Corruptors as well. I do feel like we've been doing a very good job of kind of whittling those numbers down a little bit. See a few more shots coming through. Again, the Corruptors and the Hydras. The Lurk is gathering up. The Lurk is going to burrow here. That Nexus in quite a bit of trouble once again. Going to take a few more shots. That is going to end up going down. Now the Tempest step up. Just going to see another Lurker falling. That's another nice Storm. Mana's army's good. I just don't know if it's good enough to break a defensive position of Serral. Even with these very good Storms that we're seeing coming out here. Not quite sure if, like I say, that's really good enough. As Corruptors are going to get turned around as well, so they're going to get turned the other direction. The Lurk is still gathering. Immortals, Archons, Tempest still joining together for the moment as our Void Rays continue in production. I like the Void Rays as a little bit of a support enhance to these Tempests so far. Bam, bam, bam. Shots coming through. And we will also see the Lurkers and Lings. Actually, Lings going to get a High Templar there, so that's going to be a nice grab. Grab a High Templar, take that out with us. Nice little bonus for sure. The Tempest is just going to stay busy for a little bit, so a little bit more being dealt. Nothing too crazy overall, really. Just kind of expected trades. As those Lurkers siege up at the front, and like I say, Serral going to try and find a way over here. Lurkers need to burrow. As Mana gets a little bit of a starting jump on this. Looks like he's kind of committing. The problem is, as soon as the Corruptors show up, those Tempests have to step away, and then you're not dealing damage consistently. Mana's army is going to melt away here. Kind of stands in this fight and this game for a little while, just not able to go long enough. So we'll take in game number 1 of this best of 3. We'll head into game 2 here in just a couple of moments, guys. The game's resuming and get back on track. Be patience between games, I'll just say it already. I have to run some ads because I didn't get the stream live soon enough today, so I don't have any ad time built up or anything. I'll have to go and figure that out. Yo, Dagon, thank you so much for the 28-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. King's Cove is going to be our map. Get this straight away, heading in. Alright, game number 2 of this best of 3. Serral lead 1-0. No surprises really just yet. Get into our second game now in a moment or so. Probably reset my stream element stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Well, let's head into game 2, as we do have on King's Cove in the top left our blue Protoss player Mana, and in the bottom right our red Zerg is Serral. It's a map which definitely generally has the tendencies to go long, but sometimes when the map has a tendency to go long, I feel like Serral does not necessarily play into that as much as he plays to, like, hey, let's actually not have to play like a 30-minute game here, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the case, but it's something that I'm just a little bit thoughtful on as we get started up and as we get underway. Okay, now game 2 of the opening best of 3. Game 5 best of 3s in total today, guys. Going to be coming up. Should be some good fun. Excited to see how far through it we're able to, or how the games turn out. Obviously, I think Serral Hero is what a lot of people are looking at as a potential highlight match on the day, so that could be very interesting as we get going for King's Cove. Roby. coming up in toward the main. Just going to be having again hatch gas and cool all coming online. A couple of drones coming into play as well. There's that probe just going to come back the other direction for a couple moments. Just going to see our probe nibbling up. Drone's taking damage again next in the cyber core. Building into play here for a few moments. Probe comes around to the top side. Again, hatchery about to finish. Queen of the Link speed coming up as well, so we continue to bring that into play. Gonna have ourselves the Nexus, Cybercore, Simulator, and Pylon. Continuing through too, so again, a little bit of everything being handed on for now as we get settled. Things all set up, and the probe is going to put down a pylon, a few lings in the drone. Going to get that to grab that cancel and to stop that from continuing into further action. And just going to see our Stargate coming through, the Stalker, the Wolf Gate coming up as well. A bit of everything there. The Overlord still pacing on through for a few moments. That link's coming up, a couple of probes coming around. Again, Stalker, Wolfgate, both coming online here currently. Stalker's just going to poke away the Overlord for a couple of moments, but it has a high ground position, so it will not go down. Keep an eye on that quite closely, quite comfortably. For the moment as our Nexus coming through. Again, a couple of probes and the pylon all coming up as well. Going to get a lot more of that being brought into play right now. And Wolfgate about to finish. I'm just going to see our Nexus and Robo facility still coming through as well. A couple of assimilators continuing out. A few more bits and pieces and continuing into play for the moment. So just getting those finished up, getting those brought into position. And we have ourselves the Oracle going to activate for a couple of lings. It's going to come through there and try and deal some extra little bits of damage. For the moment, the Oracle going to come back around the right hand side while I cancel the Robo facility. The additional gateways continue to come through as well. Be seeing the Prism on the way out again. Temple Archives coming through too. So just going to get that Temple Archives up. The extra gates coming online as well. And a kind of opening fairly similar to the last game. One Oracle, going to get the Temple Archives up and the Archon push going. I mean, deja vu all around because these lings hit in the last game as well, but also able to be pretty significant overall. And just going to see the rest of the High Templars continuing through. The probes continuing up as well. There's a couple of Archons still moving on into play. Approach coming online too. And get that set into action here. Take a few more moments. Observer, Forge, probes. Continue to come online again. The pylons and the assimilators coming out as well. Archons, the Prism going to come around. Now heading on the right hand side in. They're going to go after these Overlords. Drop back down, feelings going down. Now the Overlords are going to get hit again. And the Prism loads back up, peeling away up the right side. for the moment. Storm +1 attack, charge. Again, a couple high tempos and the Immortal all continuing into play at the moment still. They bring that all up. Just going to be having that roach. Just going to shoot forward there and for the couple of Archons. Again, +1 attack and the Storm coming through. The Infestation Pit is building. Drones and an Overlord coming in as well. We got the Prism dropping back into play again. Big maps. It's going to be a little bit tough for Serral to come across the map with some of his counter aggression that we saw last time. And this time, main thing is also going to be he's going to kind of ditch the mutas, which, when you think back on it, those mutas were. They didn't do nothing, but they were hardly the most effective mutas in the world, right? And I kind of wonder how much of mana being able to stay in that game so long was kind of because Serral went via the mutas that didn't do all that much. Yeah, a little bit curious. I'm just going to see the couple of Hydras going to get there, and that Prism getting pushed the other way. Nexus starts up on the 4th base. Again, the Lurker Den still coming online. The Hive is coming through. Additional Hydras continue to come up and online as well. Nexus is about to finish on the 12 o'clock. Just going to get that up and running as you have the Archon Immortal High Templar continue to cruise about once more. So got that Hive coming through as well. +2 missile upgrade coming in also here. Just bring all of that up. Just going to get a few Hydras there. Going to go after some of those Zealots as well. Stasis Revelation, sorry, coming down. Storm onto some of the Roach Hydra. Again, the cannon going to be there, pushing that Roach Hydra force on out the other direction. Nice Network coming up. As mana asks for a pause. Probably take a moment. Mana's always getting packages mid-game lately, I swear. It's going to be back in about 15 seconds. It's going to be like, sorry, package. Ready? Okay, he might not be, but I feel like I've seen Mana pause a couple of times for that reason lately. All good, though. Just chilling for a moment or two. Yo, Marek, sorry, I just didn't see your resub. 7 months on the Prime. Thank you so much. Supporting the stream today. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Few moments and you can see the game state. I mean, look, here's Nice Den. Just going to be seeing a couple of mortals coming up from the side of Mana. So let's just go. It's like a 3. A countdown from 3 is not good enough. It has to be from 5. There we go. Well, I'm just going to be seeing our Spire coming up. So we are going to see a Spire from Serral still. Probably more so an answer or preparation in case of Tempest, so you can get Corruptors out compared to anything else this time around. So getting that ready. As the Roach Hydra steps forward, the Archon Immortal High Templar going to be there to push back. Again, just going to see our Drop Lords coming through. The Lurkers are still coming up as well. Continue to bring a lot of that into play for the moment. Let's Drop Lords. Far left hand side. Yeah, what's up? Humming 255 on the 2-year resub on the Prime as we dash forward with the Hydra. Is going to get both High Templar now aiming for the Immortals. Oh my goodness. What a play from Serral, using the lunge on the Hydras to get him in there and to succeed in actually getting some damage done. That was actually very neat. That was a fun moment for sure. There's now Hydra Roach goes back the other way. As you can see, our mothership coming online. The Immortals still coming up. +2 attack on the way out. You can see the Hydra is actually diving about here. And the Storm just coming into play. And you can see those drop lords coming back through as Serral. Definitely looking to try and apply some pressure on a map that's typically not easy to apply pressure on. It's typically a little bit more kind of closed off and macroed up kind of situation. Just taking a different approach here for the moment. There's that Roach Hydra coming back through. A couple cannons getting straight onto these Overlords. So Overlord's taking some damage. Just going to be having ourselves the Hydras continue to get going. We are going to get a good position here. Mana has to run through his choke points to get back across on top of these lurkers, which is just going to take a few moments as well. So a little bit of pain, unfortunately, there. It's not going to be ideal for Mana at all. Let's see a couple more storms coming down. Again, the unit's still getting pushed the other direction for a little bit. Trying to get to the front with the Hydra and the Roach, but not sure much is going to come of that, really. You can see already kind of being turned around the other direction as well. Again, a couple of Mortals and Archons together will continue to swing on forward. Storm's coming down, but I'm not sure. I mean, units have to come back defensively here from Serral. Well, doing pretty okay as Mana gets 22 drones. Serral takes some fairly serious damage, and now Mana's main army pushes to the front. The Lurkers are not preemptively burrowed there, so that could be a problem. Yeah, not burrowed very far forward at all, so we can actually go through. We actually just lost the Observer, though. That's so sad. Losing the Observer when obviously those Lurkers in play. We will get a Storm off. Extra Zealots warping in. The Immortals taking damage too as those few Zealots continue to cycle through. Time Warp comes down as Mana, at the very least, is going to get this base killed. An additional 18 drones now, and Serral is genuinely in some trouble. This army of Mana is putting some very good work in. Get to the bottom left, just going to knock this hatchery down. Step through, just going to see the Hydras with a little bit of a dash forward there as well. Just trying to see a bit more of what is up. Target coming through, the Immortals and the Tempest coming up, +3 attack upgrade on that Forge also coming into play currently. It's just going to get that rolling as well. So Lurkers burrow, we do have the Hydras there turning it back around. Just going to see the rest of this Lurker Hydra force coming back over. The Storm's just coming through, and again the Hydra Lurker force continue to come about just for the moment. The Lurker's already firing away there. The Zealots have to step back. The High Templar's going to drop a Storm down. And just get this reset as some good fights for Mana, but can he continue to take them? Right now, it looks like that fight on the right side would go very wrong for him if it was to happen, so that's already a slight concern as well. Drop that time open as well. Just going to get that coming straight through as well. Just going to try and see what else we can get done. Just going to see the Hydra's going to get there. They're going to be coming through as well. Sorry, excuse me. Just do continue to come across. Just going to be seeing that. A couple more shots coming through. Again, some extra hits coming about for a little bit longer right now. Like, it's still flying away. A few more shots continuing for the moment. Again, some extra setup coming around just for now. more drones getting picked away at. Sal's actually a nice attempt going down over there, so that gets dealt with pretty easily, pretty comfortably as well. Yeah, can deal with that nice and easily. Shut that down. Lurker coming back over, just going to be seeing the Vipers. Reducing going to be an important part of this for Serral, most likely. Viper's going to do a lot to help you out as this game progresses through some of these later stages. And the Immortal Archon just going to come straight across, going to knock down those rocks. Only stepping up again. There's the Lurk is already going to be in position, pushes out Archon Immortal away. Ducks on these Tempests, they're going to be taking some damage as well. A few more hits continue to come through. Well, we get in this position where man is quite clearly in a very comfortable spot. Can he close the game out is basically going to be the question. A couple of feedbacks onto some Vipers. We dash forward, the Tempest taking damage as well. It's going to be seen not going down, the Storm gets picked off. Serral is going to charge straight up into the natural. Hydras to the top side, nice network gathering. Jump on the greatest Spire in the main base. I like it. Take away some of the potential to morph Corruptors into other things if even was Corruptors in play. In fact, that's the only Spire in the game, so now you can't make Corruptors even. So, I think it's a little bit interesting for sure. A little intriguing. That's going to charge up. That Nidus is going to be in some trouble pretty much immediately. It's just going to knock that down. The Lurker's going to be there again. Push the Immortal Archon Zealot Force back once again. Let's pull that away there for a few moments. Another couple Tempests coming through. And it's still settling at the top side as units reposition here across the bottom. Just stepping in, just gonna see the Zealots warping through there. The High Templars are going to come about as well, so we continue to get that going. Setting up, Hydra's going to get rid of a couple of Zealots already. As these Storms continue to come down, those Hydras are going to dash. Storms continue to crash in here, and obviously the Immortals putting some work in as well. They will actually do very well for themselves. And that's going to be GG as Mana just has too much. Serral will not be able to hold on. And we are going to go to a game 3 between Mana and Serral. So Mana getting the edge in this game, able to take an army composition that looks good. And is able to kind of take the correct fights with it, which is always the question mark, right? Protoss players put themselves in good positions. Can they actually use that army as they need to? In this case, Mana absolutely said, yes, I can. And so he gets himself a map on the board against Serral. It was fun to see Mana doing well. Always been playing Starcraft, right? Has stuck with it for a long time at this point. Very fun when he pulls off some fun games. Gonna get invited into Whispers of Gold for our next game here. Get us started off. Alright, let's go into game number 3, my friends. Let's do it. We're in game 3, tied up 1-1 between Mana and Serral here. Let's see what we get in this final game between them. Well, let's come across, take a few moments here, get settled down, see where we're gonna go. The Cybercore coming through, the Nexus coming up, the probe still in production as well. It's just going to continue to bring that in for a few moments here. Let's settle down for the moment. And see where we're going to be going, the gateway. Again, the Adept coming through as well. It's just going to bring that into play for the moment. Let's see what will happen. Things moving about, just going to chase that probe down. Probe is going to fall. Just going to see our Stargate coming through. The Warp Gate coming in. Stalker still producing as well, so we need to get again a bit of everything being brought in for the moment. It's going to be having ourselves the Stalker and the Oracle coming about. The Warp Gate still coming online. So far, so good. A little bit of harass, but some drones becoming spores to protect themselves, and so no real issues coming from that just yet. The Oracle building in, just going to see that Warp Gate still coming online as well. Looking pretty decent here. We'll just have again the probe facility continuing through. The Stalker going to go poking away the Overlord for a few more moments. And some little bits of extra damage being dealt. Assimilator still producing on in as well. World pops out, Twilight Council in production, Robo Facility coming through as well. We get that going again. The Nexus also coming by as we speak. The few drones transfer over the other direction. Just settle down for a few more moments here. As all those gates come online as well. Mana sets up in a very similar way to what we've seen in the previous games, which honestly the setups have been pretty okay for Mana. There's been points where he could have definitely done things a little better, I think, but overall, I'm not too upset with how he's been approaching the games and approaching the plans. Oracle gets turned around one more time. I see a couple of Archons then still moving across, still trying to see what else they can maybe do. As I do step straight forward actually, and straight over into position to try and set up some damage. See, the prison gets turned around again. It's just going to get turned straight away once more in the other direction for a few moments. Only a few Lings is going to come through. They're going to try and get some damage done onto some of those gateways, so try and find a little bit of something there as well. See the Lings going after those gates, and he's going to be able to knock at least one of those down. So we just one gate straight away. Storm on the way through, and again, just very much so happy to set up into what we've already seen from him, I would say, in a lot of ways, which is just, you know, do more of the same. There's nothing wrong with that, really. Nothing wrong with kind of sticking with what's working here as the Immortals, the Stalker, continue to move about. Cruising around still for a few more moments. Lings, Roaches coming over, just going to hit the gateways here, and that's just going to be some damage dealt. Again, just trying to knock this down. Commander is unable to put some pressure on while he's busy dealing with this whole scenario. The Lings trying to get there, the Archon has to back it up, escaping away from trouble as well. The Nexus down just once again. The drop lord still moving over. It's going to be seen a Storm coming down. Roach Hydra taking hits. We're having a couple of Immortals getting jumped on. Storm still dropping. Roach just trying to dive for those High Templar specifically. If you can knock those High Templar and take those Storms away, theory is you're going to probably have a much better time, right? So, trying to find a little bit of something there. Massive unload of Roach Hydra, as they are going to come straight through. A bunch of probes. Be in some trouble. We get units in position fairly quickly though, so this is not going to be too much of an issue. All said and done, this should actually be fairly fine. So we've seen the Ling Roach Hydra still knocking on the front door then, so we'll take a few moments to pick through that. And away we go as, yeah, we just sit back, the prison moving back in toward the main base for a little bit. It's going to be hanging around there for the moment. And it's going to have that Roach Hydra lane continue to come across. Just going to take a few steps over. See what else we can do. While shots coming around, just going to be having ourselves the Hydra still stepping forward, the Roach is still taking some hits, just going to be seeing the couple of cannons and the Archon getting jumped on. Mana supply is just not that great going into this, is going to be the issue here. It's definitely going to be a pretty sizable part of the problem overall. A couple of Storms drop into play, and we'll have ourselves the now Drop Lords moving into this position as well in the main base, so over they go. It's going to be seeing another couple of Storms coming down, Roach Hydra taking hits from those Storms again. The main base attack also forcing Mana to split up defenses. really focused in multiple places at the moment to really deal and handle all of this. And again, we continue to step through here with this Robo Facility now taking some pretty serious damage, so that's going to be going down too. And a couple of Zelds are going to try and step further forward, but I mean, Serral is in control here on Whispers of Gold. He's not letting this become the main kind of mana army that it was in that previous game, right? So he is looking to control that as best as he can. For the moment, again, Roach's line just coming through. The Seismic Spines, the Carapace upgrade coming online as well. It's a pretty beautiful concave. He's going to surround everything. There's going to be a couple high tempers, I think, from the north side, but they're going to struggle to get to the main clump of Hydras, and Mana is just going to say GG as he recognizes that this one is already very much so on its way to just being done and dusted. So GG it is, and Serral takes it 2-1 over Mana. So Serral takes it down and is going to be able to take his first series of the day. He's going to move through to the winners matchup, which will be Series 3 today, I believe. So we'll be back with that in a little bit. Oh, back with Serral in a little bit. Up next will be Spirit versus Heroes, a little bit of TVP action. We're going to all go hop servers and move on across and elsewhere. So we're going to hop servers, get a moving, a grooving, and into some more games, guys. That's going to be where we go. It's going to be what happens. Appreciate you guys joining us today. I think I have to run some ads because, like I said, we just got started a little late on the stream. I have to go and try and do something like that. Why is my YouTube trying to create a highlight? I do not want to do that. I just want to run ads. YouTube. Yeah, cool. That Mana takes a map, though. Definitely makes this a little bit more of an interesting group than what it originally was looking like. We'll take a couple moments, guys. Awesome. Get deaded. He did get a bit deaded. Still cool games, though, I think, from Mana. Heading to this next match, like I say, fairly soon. Get that underway, guys. Alrighty. Sorry, I was looking something up quickly. Alright. gonna be waiting for the game. And like I say, they should be vetoing up, guys. Couple moments. Spirit versus Hero coming through. Oops. Accidentally invited someone to a party. Not ideal. Not what we're aiming for. Do, 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 do. Yeah, Clem does not play DVT anymore. Clem has switched to the PvT, but his Pro has actually looked a little bit more vulnerable lately as well, to be fair. Like, at first it felt like his PvT was starting to look extremely good and just people were struggling, but I think people are figuring out a couple bits and pieces about it at least, so some progress is kind of being made in those, in that front. Some progress being made. Lobby coming online, as we're gonna head into this Hero vs Spirit series here in just a few moments, so get this on the way. Everyone is joining the lobby. We'll be good to go. There goes this Hero. And we are counting down into the game, guys. Thank you for your patience, like I say. Let's get this one on the go. See what we're gonna get. Let's get into ley lines for map number 1 of this best of 3 series. So Hero versus Spirit. Game 1 coming through right now. This up and rolling. On the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start off with the blue Terran player. It is probably going to be the underdog of our series here. It is Spirit, taking on the top right, our red Protoss player, Hero from Dragon Kaizi. Or Weibo. I always get confused because it still says DKZ in game, but it is just Weibo still. First map of this best of 3. Winner gets to play Hero. Loser plays a mana who's obviously looking a bit scary today. I do think Spirit has upset potential against Hero as well. I think his PvP is absolutely good enough to make something happen there, so... Yep, from the very start, I'm a believer. I could see this being an interesting one. I don't think it's just going to be the... I think Spirit's playing well lately too, right? I think he's bringing a level that definitely deserves a little bit of respect and put to his name on it, so... Yeah, let's see. What was that probe? What was about? And comes across down to the bottom left-hand side. It's just going to come straight through there for a few moments as we get set up. I'm just going to be seeing that probe still moving through. It's just going to cross for a little bit here for now. Continue to settle down for the moment. gonna be some of the Zelt showing up, trying to put a little bit of pressure on, but it's gonna be pretty much easily denied. Doesn't really get to go anywhere, so it's gonna be pretty uninteresting couple of moments there, actually. That never really got off the ground and rolling, unfortunately, for Hero, who's gonna also bring across the Adept, and together may try some diving and some dodging and some trying to make something happen, but I would be, like I say, a bit surprised to see anything really coming of this. As that Adept comes up the ramp, depots are going to block, the reactor isn't going to block. I'm going to sit pretty for a few moments as, again, the sentry coming up, warp gate on the way through, mobile facility and gateways continuing to produce as well. Hellion Marines orbital will be brought into play for now. Adept still just chilling out the front for the moment. Marines and the Hellion going to go after said Adept, so just going to come straight over for that. Hellion obviously trying to poke around, but the Adept is going to say pretty much just no, not right now, buddy. Not going to get anything done here, so just going to turn that around, no problems at all. And Twilight Council and the Warp Prism is on the way up, so we're going to start seeing where Hero goes on the follow-up to his Robo opening. So the Prism did apply some pressure, Twilight Council begin to get some upgrades up, and that's pretty much what we're setting in for in these early stages. So we begin to get that on the roll, on the move. Get that underway. Just for now, as again the CC, the barracks, all coming up here, the engineering bay also in production, so we continue to get that on the go as well. Bringing up a little bit of everything right now as that siege tank also going to pop. The Marine's going to get underneath the hallucination, that will also go down. The siege tank back over to the natural and just going to get that in position immediately. The observer going through as well. Goes poking away at the Hellion, and again just the stim pack, the +1, making its way up in the production tab, so starting to see some of those buy upgrades starting to kind of slip into play as well. We have triple CC here from Spirit, so has quite an eco-focused style of play set up for himself already, so just needs to kind of bring that into play now and actually kind of, you know, let that economy build up and turn it into an army. And do all the other bits. He's not going to get punished super early. He loses a few SCVs here to the harassment, but, you know, with that third CC, he's kind of set up to absorb some of that harassment as well, so that, like I say, should not be the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. Storm's still coming through. Again, our charge coming online. A couple of mortals are building. A couple of force fields are going to try and block as we do nail ourselves a little grab. And that Prism is just going to recall out of trouble there, so it was a little bit pinned in. Not the biggest of deals, but is absolutely going to be much safer now. As again, the Storm and the charge, +1 attack coming through, the additional gateways all building up and online as well. Tanks will be sieging, orbital command is stepping forward into the center. Again, +1 attack, combat shield, stim pack, all that good stuff. Continuing through for now. Bringing up as much of that as possible here as the storms are going to come through. High Templars, ready to drop some of those storms off? No? We didn't have storm ready. Upgrade was not done. He's like, I'll show you what's about to happen. The second storm was completely unnecessary, by the way. The second one did nothing at all. Tank Siege and the rest of this army from Hero coming from across the map, looking to keep on applying pressure, moving through as best we can. Again, +1 attack. The Zealots continuing in. Robo Bay probes continue to come through. Just going to see that Prism setting up. Here comes the army of Hero. It's going to step forward. The Storm coming through as well. I'm just going to be having our couple more Storms still coming down. The Siege Tank going to be a part of this. And this is getting nasty here for Spirit because he's not going to have much at all following up from this. I mean, Hero's already warping in reinforcements. Spirit's army already seems to be completely dealt with, basically. It's just gone. These elves are now going to charge forward as well. They're going to jump on top of some of those marauders, and this is looking prettier and prettier. If your name is Hero. Does Spirit have a defense he can find? I mean, he's obviously pushed away from the third base. Hero takes a fourth behind this as well. That forward expansion starting to come online now. So yeah, getting to bring that up as the units come across. Just going to get another couple of chips. And the SCVs are going down as well. "19 SCVs killed off. Coming through, +1 armor, the extended thermal lance. Units of Hero continue to step forwards towards the middle of the map now. As again, the couple of ghosts still coming through, the Medevac Marine Marauder in production as well, so again, bringing that online at the same time. Those couple of ghosts still coming through again. Marine Marauder, Medevac, all going to be joining in here for the next few moments. Our army continues to move across over the far right-hand side at the moment from Hero on the bottom. Spirit's got a couple of Medevacs that are continuing to move over. And they are currently again across the other side of the map. Bio's going to get there. Pylon is going to get felled. Couple of ghosts coming up. The Medevac Marines continue to produce through. We do have another scan. Just going to see the recall though. Not going to let anything happen. Tempos load up again. So the Marauders coming through. The Zealot's just going to go jump straight onto this location, and the orbital command gap to lift up and pull away once more. Spirit, take the hint, buddy. You're not allowed this third base. Hero has said it is so. And we just gotta deal with it now. Coming back in with the drops, though, I mean, it's definitely one way in which Hero takes damage, especially when he's focused across the map trying to deal damage, right? So 100% the right idea from Spirit. It's just a question of, can the right idea become game-changing? Is Storm, yeah, was not that good, honestly. Need to get rid of that Colossus. It's putting a lot of splash damage in, getting rid of some Marines. We will kill it. Units blinking in to try and play the cleanup now as the Zealots are causing trouble on the other side, though. So even if Spirit has done pretty well here, which he has, 24 probes killed, he's lost just as many SCVs at home, and he's not got any way of dealing with that. His drops are slowly getting cleaned up a little bit, you know, little by little. And Hero is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. So Hero with a pretty cozy opening game to start off with on that one. And we'll head into game 2 in a few moments' time. Alright, game 2. Coming up then, guys, we'll jump into this lobby. And get this one on the way. Into our next game of Starcraft here. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you guys. Alright, that was good. Spirit Hero Game 2 coming up. Get this underway. Going into Amygdala for our second map. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Terran player. This is Spirit taking on the player in the top right who is up a game. We have Hero, our red Protoss. Game 2 of this series. And away we go. As we get settled down and get underway. It's going to be having our tracks coming through and the probe coming across the other side of the map. It's just going to journey over some initial pressure on. Type on the Nexus coming through, the orbital command coming up as well. You can see our Stalker coming up, next continuing to play. Okay, coming through as well as we get ourselves the factory and the command center continuing to produce. And that sentry, the warp gate continue to come online just for a few moments. Just gonna have ourselves the setup continuing here. The alien marines coming across. Just gonna have ourselves the Twilight Council and gates coming through as well. Continue to get that cell. Just gonna be seeing the marines already gonna jump onto that nexus. So straight across there, the couple sentries coming up as well. Away we go with that. Gonna be having ourselves the marines. Gonna get chased back the other way. Stalkers coming across, sentries as well. Also coming straight over there for a few moments. Testing Enclaves coming up from Hero, so pretty fun, kind of aggressive build coming in from our Protoss player right now. Let's get that set to roll. Sentry's just going to be there. The Marines are going to come over. One sentry goes down. Guardian Shield pops up. Those Marines are kind of stuck. I don't know why we try and save them with the medevac. I mean, that was just a donation. Doesn't coming through. The extra probes and the batteries coming over. We have our +1 attack and the siege tank building up as well. Extra barracks and gases still coming into play. And this Hero will be sitting cozy up a game in this match at the moment. We've seen our +1 attack, 7 combat shield coming through. The Stalker's going to get underneath that Raven. Going to punch that back the other way and push that over for the moment. And comes up. They're just getting chased away. Again, stim combat +1 also trying to come through for a few moments. Stalker's going to be there. Siege Tank Marines in position. Stalker's going to start picking away at the depot. See the Adept shading in. This is where the Adepts can do very well. In the long game, these Adepts do not really stand up, but for a moment like this where you're surging forward and you've got a lot of, Marines and SCVs to get rid of, that's where the Adepts really shine. Natural has to lift off. We are taking Damage's hero back on the other side of the map as well, so there's not a free kind of scenario for him. It's definitely a little scary still, but in general, looking pretty good for our pros player here. Is going to shade up and get on top of the Marines again, and as long as those Marines keep on dropping, I get the feeling that this is going to continue to be very good. As our Stalkers and Immortals and Adepts continue to come through, extra Marines going down, more damage being done, the other Marines continue to drop as well. Adepts will continue to chase in, just going to get on top of the Marines and the SCVs one more time. SCVs, 9 SCVs going down, 4 probes as well. Our defense from Spirit has kind of been there in the end. I mean, Hero's army did melt away in the end, but we're kind of at this point now where this kind of game, I mean, does it get interesting? I don't really think so. Hero's got way too many workers. He will just rebuild. Like I say, his army is arguably worse as time goes on, but I'm not sure if it's going to be so much worse that it's, like I say, going to have that much of an impact here. Feels as though Spirit is just a little bit dead in the water in general. Knock a pylon down, Blink coming up, the armor upgrade coming online as well. Medivac still boosting around, just going to be seeing the SCVs running away, mules as well. Trying to see what else is up and going on. As the armor upgrade and the Blink continue through, the Observer also in production for the moment. The Medivacs get into the main base. Going to go for full unload here. Pylon goes down. Gates, Cybercore, Twilight Council all getting well, depowered. So pretty big deal. I mean, Blink not on the way anymore. If Spirit had anything more than 12 SCVs, I could be a believer, but he's still on 12 SCVs, right? Like, he's only making units, which maybe you could argue is one of his better shots, but in that case he needs to be going with his main army like now. Like, yes, the drops are doing okay, but the rest of this needs to just go, go, go. One Medivac goes down, the other Medivac full of units needs to be cautious. Like I say, Spirit pretty much just has to go. And that is what he's doing, as he's got a few Marines at home still, but I guess this Prism is part of the problem. He kind of wants to deal with it apparently, and he is going to get it. So now he gets rid of the Prism. Now, in theory, Spirit should be able to take everything else across the map and just, like I say, send it. But I feel like he did a good job of buying time and giving himself a shot here. But, like I say, arguably maybe not good enough to make a difference at the end of the day. Stalker's chasing, Marines taking some damage as we get pushed back down to the south. Again, Siege Tanks, Marines, SCVs all continue to produce as well. Stalker's going to shoot that, the Marines going to take some damage as we go. Well, SCV's going down, Stalker's still chasing back and forth. I mean, the fact that Spirit's getting pushed back to play defensive is not great. Spirit was kind of needing to, in my eyes, take a fight across the map and really make something happen over there. And then the line starts up. It's going to see the +2 attack upgrade coming through. The charge is coming in. Our units just gathering on that natural. And again, the Stalker's setting up to go as well. +2 attack, extended thermal lance, and charge. Continuing to produce for the moment. So we get all those upgrades coming into play. And the Colossus and a couple of probes on the way out. The Nexus is coming about as well. Brings will chase across, a couple of probes beginning to drop. It's going to now jump onto that Nexus. Again, charge, thermal lance coming through. The Stalkers are going to recall across as well. There goes the medevac. The Marines really want to get this Nexus, and they will get it. They're going to keep Hero to 2 bases. And Spirit is able to survive on the other side as well, so hence here we are. And this game continues to be a little bit more interesting as our Stalkers and our Colossus come back over. Have ourselves the medevac moving back across as well, so away we go. Trying to see a little bit more of what's going on. You see our Stalker's going to play clean up in this medevac, so that's going to be going down as well, so that's also going to be taken out. A bit of cleanup there. Tanks is going to step a little bit further forward, and we continue to settle down for a few more moments. Let's just have the Marine Marauder refineries continue to come about. Enough +3 attack upgrade over halfway done. The Immortal and the Nexus probes as well continue to come through for the moment. We keep that going for now. Probes going to pull across and towards the mineral lines. I mean, this game is surprisingly not done, I guess, because I guess here Spirit's just been able to get an army up that has been good enough to survive with. I don't think his army has ever been true. Like, there was a point when he was dropping when I was like, okay, I can kind of see how you can maybe, you know, make a real case for kind of stepping back in this game, but I think, to me, that moment has long gone. So I don't feel like that moment's been there for a while, but here we are. Spirit is still alive and kicking at the moment, at least. Putting some work in. Fire gathers, tanks move about, +3 attack, and the Archon producing through. The Immortal in production, about to finish up as well. hallucinations fly into the main or towards the natural. Vikings are shooting, and the hallucinations do go down. The bio now going to take out some rocks in the center. The rest of Hero's army moving across. Going to be seeing the probe coming about for the moment. Steph's going to get there. A few SCVs going down once again. Stalker's blinking forward. Going to try and get rid of some of the siege tanks again. Spirit can set up defensively, but defensively is not a guarantee. As Hero looking to punch his way through to the 2-0 victory to meet Serral in the winner bracket matchup here today, or the winners match in this double elimination group. So yes, Hero looking as though it is setting up for that PBZ. Like I say, I feel like he was kind of in control for most of this game anyways. There was just a moment where I was like, okay, maybe Spirit could fight back, but generally I don't think this was like a concern for Hero. I think he's been kind of set up in a fine place for quite a while. So we are going to see Serral versus Hero here in the next matchup coming through in a moment. Van3537, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Alright, we are gonna go. In a couple moments here, guys, get this started up. I'm just gonna mute it and travel my headset because it's all tangled. Give me one sec. Every time I unraveled it, I put it back down, it just like curled up again. Alright, Serral Hero should be the next matchup, guys. Just a few moments, get that ZVP ready to go for you. Amazing. Amazing. How are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Right, like I said, just waiting for the lobby to come up, guys. We'll get this underway. Continue the games today. Thank you, Van, for that sub as well. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Alright, like I said, just imagine videos taking place. Take a moment or two, get this going. And thanks for joining us so far today for our Liuli Cup coverage. Alright guys, we'll get rolling soon. I guess I'm just waiting for some videos and stuff. We can get going. Sorry, my between game conversation is limited today. I'm a little bit mentally tired. Guess this cup got a good prize pool because Serral's playing. It's the most important thing is that it doesn't have WardiTV in the title, and Serral is playing 200 IQ. Yeah, it's a decent sized cup. There's a little bit of a larger online event, so, and pretty simple format too. You play a group stage. You play a group stage, and then playoffs are split over a few days, but not super crazy. So yeah. Alright, lobby's coming up. And jump in. Get this started and get into Serral versus Hero for this next best of 3 from the winners match. The winner of this gets to the playoffs already, joining Reino and Gumiho from Group A. And next match is 14th and 15th of January, by the way, so Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Skiller, Solar, Max, Back, Shin in Group C. In Group D, Clem, Christiana, Dark, and Yeshi. Couple of fun groups, couple of very differently kind of paced groups, I would say. Some action there, which I think is going to be a bit more one-sided than some of the other action for sure. As yeah, Serral Hero, man. Last time, was it? This is the last time these two played at eSports World Cup? Because man, that was a series. That was a series I think Hero should have probably even won, and he played an extremely high level. Serral did everything he could to just not die and was able to just about hit him to the post in the end. Yeah. eSports World Cup. So Serral 3-0'd Hero the first time, but the second time they played the day after, that series was so good. And you might have been one of my favorite series of the entire tournament because it was just that freaking good. Yeah, that was very sick. Yeah, Serral and Hero don't play a lot because obviously Serral doesn't play a lot of the online events. They only played 4 times in 2024. One of those times being the Master Coliseum Finals, which is about a year ago. And Hero's not beaten. That's actually, this is crazy. Hero's only got 2 official wins against Serral all time. One of them being, and both of them coming in 2022. One of them is a WardiTV Cast of Civil War Best of 1, and another in a frigate WardiTV Champions Cup, which Serral got revenge on immediately after. Heroes never beaten Serral otherwise, so that's kind of a wild statistic as well. Let's get into the games. As we have got ourselves in the bottom right corner of the map, our blue Protoss player, can he find his first victory against this opponent in over 2.5 years? It is Hero in the bottom right corner. While in the top left, our red Zerg player in this winner's match looking to make it to the playoffs, we have Serral. As we enter game 1 of this best of 3 series. Big one, definitely what we're all kind of looking for today and expecting to see and hoping to see. And here we are with it. As we get up and running. So, just going to be seeing a probe going towards the upper left-hand side. Overlord coming across. And, yeah, Hatch Gas coming into play as well. Just going to bring all of that through for a few moments. Let's settle down here. And I was just going to have our probe moving about. Drone's going to get chased around a little bit as well. Obviously, this is generally the excitement of early game PvZ. As we set up for some little bits of harassment going on in these early stages. I was going to say our next is going to the naturals. Just going to bring that straight through here. We get set up for a moment or so. And yeah, pretty peaceful first few moments. Just have our links be coming through, the couple of drones on the way in as well. Links continuing about there. And yeah, next is coming through, Stargate coming up. Just take a few moments to get settled here. In these early stages, just going to be having ourselves the Lings, Speed, the drones, the Queens. And so we dropped a map to Mana earlier. Does that get us worried for his EVP a little bit? I mean, maybe a little. Hero is very good at playing those later game styles, and that's what Serral had a bit of trouble with at eSports World Cup as well, so maybe something for us to think on here as we get settled into this. Stalker's going to go pinging through that Overlord, so a bit of damage being done there immediately. Ling's just going to get caught. One Ling going down already, the other couple Lings coming about as well. Again, some damage being done. Have a couple of Stalker shots coming in. Picking this Overlord back, obviously trying to deny information gathering for Serral for the foreseeable future, so getting rid of that Overlord early is actually pretty neat. I like it. Definitely just a small benefit you get, right? A little something that can go a long way in the grand scheme of things, so yeah, like that. Neat little something for these early stages. As yeah, we take a moment or two just to get back into this. The spawn, the drones coming up. And we just have ourselves a few drones getting ready for transfer. Nothing too crazy there, in all honesty, either just yet. All that coming through for the moment. Other council coming online. The Nexus, the Gateway coming up as well. Okay, that Oracle still coming out. The Adept's going to be there, picking off a Zergling as we go. It's just going to get another little grab for themselves right off the bat for the moment. Again, get the Lair, the Rotron, continue to come on through to build all of that into play. Additional Overlords in production as well. And this Oracle already heading to the upper right-hand side, so you're looking to see what's up. Going to play the double Oracle and a Void Ray, so you really do have a lot of scouting denial. You have a lot of safety, you have a lot of information gathering with your oracles as well, so there's a a lot of benefits here right from the right from the very start in terms of how things can turn out. Vordre is gonna start to nibble a little bit. Nothing too crazy just yet, though. Just in these early stages. And yeah, a couple more warp-ins continuing through. The Oracle's going to activate. A little bit more damage being dealt for the moment. And yeah, we're going to be there as well to push those Oracles back the other direction once more. So we continue to go back the other way for the moment. And Oracles is gathering together. And we still have the Roach Speed, Evo Chamber, Hydro Den. It's all being brought up as well. So a little bit of extra. Some extra bits and pieces basically continue to come through as the Adept's going to fire it up, and it's going to be a bunch of drones going down. So 7 workers dying immediately as Hero comes in and is able to get some, you could say, fairly significant damage to start us off with. The Oracle's overhead, just going to push the drones around. Spore Crawler going to drop into place as well. And again, still got Roach Speed coming through, so nice harass from Hero. Any drone damage you do right now is going to help you a lot. When you're playing against Serral, you take any little edge you are given, which usually is just a few drones here and there. I would say this is even more than you usually get given. Now some Lings going down kind of freely here as well, so that's going to be quite nice on the point of view of Hero. He's able to get a few free Ling kills, and again, this game is definitely improving moment by moment for Hero so far. I like where he has put himself. With the Stalkers available with their blink now, able to apply some further pressure as we get in towards the infestation pit and everything else. So it's going to be an important note over the next few moments. These Stalkers trying to fight, a few Lings getting pushed back, Hydra Queen stepping up as well. Some missile upgrade coming through. The infestation pit also in production currently. Continue to get that online. Stasis Ward pops, just going to catch a single Ling in that stasis already. Again, the storm coming through. Just your attack coming online also for the moment. And we've seen the Stalker still firing up some damage, a few more shots coming back the other way. I mean, Hero just building up back at home with that storm. Trying to apply pressure as much as possible with these applying pressure as much as possible with these Stalkers, but needs to be careful he doesn't just lose them as he gets a little caught there. Things getting a good wrap around and some damage being done, so that definitely adds up in your favor. I'm just still now trying to step forward as well. Vordre Stalkers can push back, and Serral just winning this fight after Hero just kind of started losing stuff. We're seeing the extra gates, the robo facility, plus 2 attack upgrade coming up as well, and the Hive is still in production here as Hive just will pick away the rocks. Actually going to turn around, get an Oracle. Man, Hero can't catch a break right now. Everything is going his opponent's way. The Serral factor, right? Even from the worst of positions, he's able to just grab control of the game and really just flick a switch and boom, just like that. You know, things start looking very different. Things start to go very differently. Lings getting chased about. High Templars are getting caught as well. My goodness, we really are just continuing to have a pretty bad time right now as Hero. Definitely not ideal. Double lurk done from Serral, so he wants a fast switch into upgrades. He wants to get as many upgrades up as possible here, so get that going straight away. And again, our Link's still coming out. The lurk is coming through. It's going to be a storm coming down as there's Arthcon charging in as well. He's going to see another storm dropping onto those Hydralisks. So the Stalker still trying to fight. The Hydra's still taking some damage. You can see the Link Hydra Force continues to come through. So again, a little extra being done. The Stalker's still moving over, just for the moment. And additional Links coming through. Lurk is coming up as well. We'll continue to bring that into play. Just going to see those Stalkers still stepping forward as well. There's going to be a couple of overlords flying overhead. Lings, Hydras, Lurkers coming about also here. Need to settle for a couple of moments. The Lurkers do manage to chase those Stalkers back the other direction, so it's going to stop here from continuing to push forward. The High Templars are also full of energy. Hero's army can do well, I just think he is a step behind. So many Lurkers coming out from Serral. That hero would have loved to have already had Tempest on the way at this stage, basically. I think that's where we are more or less at right now, so kind of working through that. And the Ling Lurker settles on the right-hand side. The Zealot's going to step up. We're going to go down. Those few Zerglings going to wrap around also. There's a lot of probes going down on the other side, so already some damage being done on that counterattack, but the Zealot Warpin should at least stop this in its tracks. They should not go too much further. So at least you do manage to get a stop on that there. As now the rest of this comes through as well. Just going to see there's a couple Lurkers firing away. Again, Hydra's coming up, +1 melee upgrade coming through. Zealot going to get picked off as well, as the Queen's going to be able to push back on it. Our air weapons coming online, +3/+2 upgrades coming in as well. And a few Lurkers burrow up over on the left, so I'm just going to settle down over there. And still up in the skies for the moment. It's going to be the Zealot Stalker Force, the High Templars as well, coming over for the moment now. Then continue to step around just for a little bit. The Lurkers get burrowed up as well, so again, just settling down. It's going to be seeing the Immortal High Templar coming through too. He's going to fly at Robo Facility, taking some damage. It's going to be seeing the Tempest firing up, and the Lurkers taking shots. Now the Drop Lords are going to come through. 6 Lurkers unloading, hitting this mineral line. So it's just going to go, jumping onto the hatchery. Some more damage being done, and we are going to be seeing that +3 missile attack upgrade coming through as well. So bringing that +3 missiles up, the Spire coming online. Firing up onto those Lurkers, so again, just a little bit of extra damage being found at the moment. As you see, well, push through, continuing. Those Lurkers will all go down. A couple probes being involved. So we've seen the rest of these units continue to gather together. The Zealot Archon continue to counterattack. Hero really is just saying my army's still pretty darn good. The Lurkers were one of the bigger issues for him, but he's done a pretty good job of handling this, I would say. Of ensuring that this has not been too problematic overall, I guess. I mean, he's kept this going heavily in his favor, more so than expected. I mean, he's losing a lot of probes to these counterattacks. That's something that Hero has to try and stay on top of right now. Tempest joining up. Zealot's going to come underneath as well. Just going to see a couple of storms coming straight through too, so they're going to go and strike for the next few moments as they just have a little bit of everything else also coming around currently. So you're seeing these Zealots just run by once again. Serral's economy continues to be kind of run about, and his army's just not good enough anymore. I think Hero is definitely taking the edge in this first game. As the Corruptors are going to try and come through. The Tempests there are going to be pushed back a little bit. We are going to jump onto a hatchery here and see success. So that will be a big win as well. Now the the rest of these lurkers continuing to come over. We've seen the mothership overhead. That's going to be joined up as well. It's also going to be coming through for a little bit. Tempest firing, just going to be having ourselves the shots continuing to come over now. Again, a little bit more damage being done here and there as we do have ourselves the GG getting called. Hero is just going to be in too good of a spot, and that is going to do it. That's going to be GG's. Hero is going to take game 1 of this matchup. So there you have it. We are going to have ourselves a little bit of a fun series on our hands now because Hero takes a game lead, and Serral does not seem to be super comfortable in this ZVP matchup at the moment. Does not seem to be too comfortable in this ZVP matchup at all right now. So, yeah. And especially just kind of getting into those longest games. I mean, this felt like Hero was doing fine initially, but then definitely had moments where it got a lot worse for him. But, yeah. Interesting stuff. We're going to get into game 2 in a few moments' time and see if we can get back on track a little bit here as Serral, basically. That is where we are at right now. Ultra Love going to be our map 2 as we get invited in. Pop this off, get this going. Kick this into play. JLHF full cold. Let's get into game number 2, guys. Let's get this a rolling as we go into Ultra Love. Away we go. Map 2 here with Hero in a 1-0 lead. Remember, Hero has not beaten Serral since 2022. Pretty much the first time they ever played each other. Which is kind of a ridiculous stat that they only first played each other in 2022 as well. I think that alone is kind of a statistic I'm surprised at. Yeah, really crazy. Alright then, here we go. Here we head. Let's get into our opening game. We have ourselves Serral in the bottom left and Hero in the top right. Our opening setup in this winners matchup with Hero at a 1-0 lead. Game number 2 now. The opening of this game to be decided as we'll see what kind of game we want to play here, what kind of stuff is going to be settled in by the players as we get a going. But the work is coming about. It's going to be seeing the match coming through. A few different bits and pieces on the way in right from the get-go here. Probe going to nibble and force some drones off the mineral lines. Another extractor coming into play as well. Just going to get that going straight away as well here. So again, job being nicely done for the moment, nothing too crazy in the very first few moments. Hatch and lap pool both coming up. And yeah, spawning pool just on the way in, the cybercore coming online. And down to Serral to try and fix the problem that he's found his way into here. What's up, Suck My Marine? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub. Good game so far? Yeah, actually very good game so far. Serral Manor was actually very good. And Hero's leading the game against Serral right now. Pretty cool first game as well here. So yes, these games have been pretty top-notch up until this point. I'll just take a moment actually to say, if you're enjoying the streams, guys, do not forget to follow on Twitch. And you can, of course, on YouTube, subscribe and like the video as well. We've been getting a lot more YouTube live viewership lately, and a lot of you guys are not subscribed. So if you want to make sure you continue to catch great games between great Starcraft 2 players, do consider liking, do consider subscribing. It helps out a whole bunch, and it's free to do. That's the best thing. You just click a button, and boom, you're subscribed, you know? So do check that out. Help find more Starcraft 2 content for you guys to watch in the future. Appreciate it, guys, as we get settled in. have a Adept in the warp gate continuing in as well, so we continue to bring that through for the moment. So we get that settled in here. Just going to be having ourselves, again, the Stargate in production, the Void Ray coming through. The Adept is going to go poking onto the hatchery for a couple of moments as well, so a few more shots right there. Adept going to go after a Zergling. Zergling and that Queen both continue to come around. The Ling actually ends up going down, the Queen chasing away for a little bit as well. Just comes down on this position here. Just going to see the few Adepts gathering together. The Void Ray overhead is going to activate and chase down the Overlords. The Overlord will get punched away towards the bottom side. Nexus still coming up. The Overlords and the Queen on the way through. Oracle, Warp Gate, building in production. Nexus on the way as well. So continue to get this up and running. The Overlord coming into the natural. It's going to float on through. And the Ling is going to go running up to the top side as well. So they're going to move across. And again, that Void Ray just going to finish our OV off right here over the next couple of moments. Clean that up, and away we go. Queen is going to be there to punch that Oracle back as well, so turns into quite a nice little trade-off. Have ourselves the Twilight Council Forge Gateway. Coming up with that third base, and we'll see Serral heading into the Roach Roaring to set himself up initially in this game number 2. So Roaches to set up with, I mean, last game we went Void Ray double Oracle. Here we're going to do the exact same again. So our pros players seem to be pretty set in their ways right now. They seem to know what they like opening with, and they will open with exactly that, basically. So that seems to have been a continuation or consistency here at the very least so far, as the Oracles there get a few more drones. Going to dive back over here. That's a drone that is going to become a hatch in a few moments, it seems. I see the Void Ray overhead, just going to pick off that Zergling. It's just going to take that down as well. Going to be a nice grab for the moment. I mean, Blink and +1 both continuing out at the moment as well, so upgrades that are going to be very important as we continue through. I'm just going to be seeing a few Stalkers whacking away onto some little bits and pieces, nothing too crazy overall. Some little bits of damage being done. I mean, knocking down some creep spread obviously gives you a little bit less control as the Zerg plays. Something more you have to worry about and concern yourself with here, as the Stalkers and Zealots combined, to just Stalkers and Adepts combined to apply some pressure. Adepts will threaten the shade, but will not commit to anything just yet. A hatchery will be finishing in a few moments here from Serral. Just getting that 4th base online. Going to be a nice little bonus from him as well. So just going to get that up and rolling. And yeah, those Lings continue to cruise about. Serral ready to try and find a counterattack at any moment in time, right? That's one of the beautiful parts of watching Serral play. He's always ready to cause disruption. He's always ready to make his opponent's life a lot more difficult. And that's exactly what you want to be doing as a Zerg player in these scenarios. 100% puts you in the right kind of position here to just have a successful game, to have a good chance, to have a good time, basically, as Stalkers and Adepts step through. It's going to be seeing the Queens, Lings, Ravagers going to join together now to try and push these Stalkers back the other direction. And Corrosive Vial coming in there to begin trying to make that process happen. I mean, I like the Adepts kind of being elsewhere at the same time, but they're targeting the Queen. If that had been target-fired onto drones, that would have been quite a few kills. Stasis is not going to do too much, but Hero's going to have the aggressive gateway here to apply pressure with, and really is clearly saying, hey, I want to keep going with this, you know? Like, I want to keep on sending this through. I'm not messing about right now. As another couple of Corrosive Vials continue to drop into play. Rocks do get knocked down as well, so Hero will have to, chip through those if he wants to open this passageway once more. A couple of Lings on the other side. Probably not going to be too impactful, all said and done. They're going to continue to try and look around to see if there's anything else they can get up to, but I think the reality is there's just not much for them to do at the moment, so Yeah, probably not is the answer to that. Oh, nice blink of the Stalkers. Just going to get across there, block those Lings from going anywhere else, so that works as well. It's also going to be quite nice. As the Lings and Roaches and Ravagers, though, are going to be able to get rid of this pylon and gateway. Again, we've gotten some probes during all of this as well, so that is adding up. That is helping. The Stalker's going to come through again as the Adept gets taken out, and it's just going to be Stalker, Oracle, Void Ray continuing to press forward for now, continuing to come across the other direction. Again, Bay Nest about to finish. The Hive is coming through. The Zerglings are still producing on into play as well. Can that be enough of a difference maker? The Stalker's now blinking across the right-hand side. Ling, Roach, Ravager going to be taking damage. The Lings from the top side are going to show up as well, so they're also going to get here to clean this out. Just going to see the rest of the Stalkers showing up, and it's going to be the Lings and the Roaches and Ravagers continue to come over right now. I mean, the Stalkers have to keep on blinking backward at the moment. Again, there is the +2 melee upgrade. There is the Baneling speed. Things that are going to help us to continue to proceed through this, essentially, as a Hive is also in production right now. The +2 attack and part of this as well. The additional Stalkers also on their way out for now. Again, the +2 melee and the Bane speed coming up. The Lings are going to run forward. The Stalkers are going to potentially get caught here as well. The Ling Ravager continuing through. A few more Corrosive Vials. Just going to chase those Stalkers away. And that Ling Ravager force still stepping forward here. A few more Corrosive Vials. The Stalkers have to step away as well. Be a little bit cautious as well. Oh ho ho! Banelings are gonna connect, and that's 13 probes going down. Hero loses the battery to one more Baneling in the end. That's a big connection, and that's going to be massive for Serral, essentially, as that does slow Hero down heavily at this point in time. Ling Ravager going to turn back onto these Stalkers. They're going to have to blink away one more time. Adrenal Glands coming up, +2 melee finishing, the Bane speed is about to complete, our +1 missile upgrade is also in production as the few Lings coming around, and they are going to go chasing down some probes. There is that Ling Ravager force just stepping through here. A few of the Stalkers getting knocked down as well. Corrosive Vials will drop into place, keep those Stalkers at bay as best we can. I mean, that's what you kind of got to worry about right now, is Serral just not dying right here, because Hero's taking enough damage that he's just not transitioning. He's not able to transition. He's very committed right now. He blinks the Stalkers forward. There's pretty much an act of, a final act for these Stalkers. They don't typically stick around when you've blinked them forward like that. So, yeah, he will know that. We know that. He's making a good effort of it. Serral obviously knows that too. Hence why he's now going to put all attention towards just surviving here. Is, again, you cannot discredit Hero's army supply. It is still a sizable army. And that's why you've got to respect it a little bit at the very least, as the Ling Ravager Queen continues to come through. Those Stalkers get forced to blink back one more time, so again they get pushed away for the moment. Chase out of them. The Lings, the Ravagers continue to chase, continue to hunt, wrapping around some of those Stalkers as well. And Hero is just going to not have enough to reinforce this. And that's the effect of the economy damage being done by Serral throughout this. That eco damage has added up. That eco damage has resulted in this moment right now where Hero really just, again, cannot get enough units up to keep this going. I think he's had some good opportunities, perhaps close some things down and everything, but as you can see, it's just not going to be good enough here. Stalker's still hunting. Ravager's getting chased. And pretty much bring this to a closing few moments as our Lings and our Ravagers will come across and chase down those Stalkers. Away they go. Our Stalker's going to go for one Queen. Just going to turn on to the other one as well. So again, some little bits of damage being dealt just early on here, as the Ravager's going to be there to chase the Stalkers back a little further. And he's running up. Again, Ling Ravager at the front, just going to chase those Stalkers away one more time. A couple of additional Overseers being brought through too. Stalker's going to take a moment, but Hero has to type GG. This one is going to go the way of Serral, which means we get a Game 3 between Hero and Serral here today, and you can't usually ask for much more than that. So, Game 3 of Hero versus Serral coming up in just a few moments. We'll get this hosted, we'll get this started, we'll head in game and get ourselves ready to go into a deciding map between some of the best EVP that is out there usually. As we get this started, into our third map, which is going to be ley lines. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, it was fun to watch these guys play. Glad you guys are enjoying. See a lot of people hyped up in the chat. Cheering for Serral's opponent so you can see him play more maps. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's always been a funny thing about Serral. Like, if Serral loses in a tournament like this, where it's like there's a lower bracket and stuff, it's like you get to see more Serral games, which is always nice. Of course, the expectation being that he makes it through if he loses here anyways, and we still get to see him in the playoffs as well, right? Because that's also kind of a little bit of a priority, more than likely, over the course of this one as we settle down into game number 2. Game number 3. For some reason, my brain can't do game numbers still. And we are going to have, in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Protoss player Hero, who has brought this to 1-1 now in the series. He takes on, in the upper right corner of the map, Serral, have a red Zerg player, and away we are going. It's our third map coming through. Gateway probes coming about here just to start us off for a little bit right now. Just gonna have ourselves the simulator coming through as well, getting that set up for a moment. Well, hatch going through on the natural. Gas in the pool coming up as well. And get settled down here for the first few moments of the game. Figure out how things will go. All probes moving about here. Some little bits and pieces going on. The first adept coming through as well. It'll take a moment or so to get settled down in this game 3. Said that, but say it again. Gonna have our Lings still chasing, probe, getting hunted. And the Ling speed coming through as well. It's gonna be a Stargate from Hero, which we've seen both games so far, so that should not really come as a surprise, honestly. So the opening here is kind of just expected. Start us off at least in the early stages. The Oracle, the Adept, the Walk Gate, all coming through and online for a few moments. Adepts will shade. Moving about and figuring out where to go. A couple of Adepts will be. We'll see. You know, they would love to hit a mineral line. They'd love to find an opening there potentially to try and take advantage of, but well, it should be a little bit difficult to find, honestly, as the Oracle dives through. The drone becomes a Spore Crawler. And our 2 Queens, our 2 drones, our Spore Crawlers all coming into play right now, so we got all of that coming up. So just looking to minimize that early game damage to be taken. Obviously would like to just say that there's no need for him to be in any trouble here early. Don't lose any workers. Stay very comfortable. Oracle's coming about as well as Assimilators coming online. Gateway coming through. And the Twilight Council is also getting itself ready here currently. As the Oracle moving across the other side of the map. Nice movement through the natural, kind of looks towards the main, but then actually comes back across into the third. Gets 4 drones out of it. The Adept's unfortunately going to get caught by those Zerglings, so that part is not going to go as well. Got the melee upgrade coming through too. Again, additional links coming online. It's going to have a +1 blink building as well. We bring that through. Just going to have our couple of oracles. And take some shots. The Spore Crawler firing away. Damage being dealt for the moment. 3 drones going down. That Baneling Nest is still very much so on the way out here as well, so we're going to have that melee upgrade Ling Bane style to begin with. Just one attack, Chrono Boost on the Forge, additional round of Stalkers warping in. We're going to begin to move up as the Lings all coming about, Hydra Den coming up. And that blink and the +1 attack continuing to come through for the moment. Robo Bay is halfway done. I mean, Robo Bay is so good in this situation because if this is Ling Bane Hydra, I mean, right now it's just Ling Bane, but even if it becomes Ling Bane Hydra, Colossus are very good against everything there, right? That splash is going to be amazing. Already having some success with this the Stalkers here as well. It put on some honestly pretty darn good pressure. For the moment, as the Lings will chase Stalkers. They'll be hunted. I mean, these Stalkers are doing a lot right now, especially capturing quite a few of these units as well. Actually becoming a little bit problematic for Serral, who I feel like is taking more damage than he was maybe banking on at this point in time. The Lings still chasing, the Stalkers still coming through. The Stalkers will try and keep up with the pressure, like I said. I mean, this 4th hatchery is dead. Going to go down right there. The Hydras are starting to pop. Remember, we've got Colossus on the way as an answer to all of this as well from Hero, so that part of the game is also looking great at the moment. So the Colossus coming up, +2 attack and extended thermal lance on the way out. 2 more gates, cannon in production as well. The Stalker's going to move up this ramp. It's just going to be seeing the +2 attack. We'll finish to an extent. Thermal Land still building. Gateways and cannons continue to produce as well, so we keep bringing that into action here. We see ourselves. Lings are, again, just going to be the kind of the front line. We actually do hit a stasis ward on some of those Lings, but that kind of blocks you from going up that ramp. The counter attack. Robo Facility is a huge target because you can get rid of Colossus production. No good answer to that from Hero. That is going to be a lost Robo Facility. Oh, that's kind of massive. Now he only has 2 Colossus in the game, but he gets the 3rd hatchery of Serral. I mean, Serral's army is going to struggle to fight this force. I mean, even with only 2 Colossus, it's going to be very good for the foreseeable future. And we are seeing exactly the effects of that right now as we'll finish this hatch off as well. So Serral truly is going to become a 2-base Zerg. That's going to hinder your production. That's going to hinder your economy. That's going to hinder you in a lot of different ways, basically. So that's going to be a tough one to, like I say, get back on track from. And Hero just taking the fight. He does not want to give Serral any chances right now. Hydra's going down extremely quickly. The Queen's obviously standing a bit longer, but it's not going to be long enough. Hero is going to take game 3. It's 2-1 in his favor. And Hero defeats Serral for the first time since they first really ever played a best of 3, which is in 2022. Hero, man. EVZ looking good. I would also say Serral's EVP not looking ideal today. And we're going to see more Serral later on. He will play the winner of Spirit versus Mana. So that's going to be coming up in just a few moments, guys. We're going to be seeing Hero advancing first place out of this group. We'll take a little break. When we come back, more StarCraft 2 action continues. I'm going to be right back just to grab some lunch, so do not go far. I'll see you guys in just a few for the next games, Mana versus Spirit. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed our early intermission. And she drooled over me having some lunch. Ellie is 3. Just to answer a question from the YouTube chat. Happy belated birthday, thank you so much. So we are going to go and be getting into this next series here, which is going to be Mana versus Spirit, coming up in just a few short moments even. We're in the lobby just now. Maps just became available. Ali is back to try her luck for additional food, which no longer exists. I have nothing else, baby. I ate it all. I know. I know, I'm so greedy, aren't I? Yeah, I'm really greedy. I ate all, but I did share it. I gave you a bunch. Yeah, oh, you're not impressed, are you not? Okay, well, if you're not impressed, you don't have to stare me down anymore. I'm just gonna stand here just in case you're trying to trick me. Alright. Spirit versus Mana, Poland versus Poland matchup here. For a series which is to stay in the tournament. Obviously, the winner of this has to beat Serral to advance to playoffs, but this was always going to be a difficult group for either of these guys, so you got to take those big dogs in your kind of just in your stride, otherwise you're not going to be getting very, very far anyways. Let's jump in to the bottom left-hand corner, where we'll start things off with our blue Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is Mana. Taking on the red Terran in the top right corner of the map, we have Spirit. Game 1 of this best of 3. And Poland versus Poland, couple players who have been around a long time at this point. You know, I actually think I'd like to see Mana win this for the rematch against Serral. He put up a fun fight against Serral. I think I'm more interested in that than watching Spirit kind of die slowly to Serral over the course of 20 minutes, which is usually how their TVZs play out. I'd be excited to see Spirit if he can make it look a bit different of that. But I have more belief based on what we saw from Mana earlier in that than I do in the on the Spirit side of the versus Serral matchups. Just going to be seeing our proxy here. So we're going to engineer and raid block, and we have a second barracks proxy that's going to allow us to apply some pretty darn quick pressure in this game and get to that pretty much, well, right away, basically. So that's going to be something for us to, right off the bat, keep our eyes on, as that barracks is going to start producing out a Marine. Engineering bay block, like I say, is going to be fun for a little bit. There's the tech lab, so we can start getting some Marauders out. And if you have to build units to kind of deal with this engineering bay block, but then Marauders are getting there to deal with those units, then that's going to be a factor as well. It's just going to be seeing our cyber core coming through, and our assimilator coming up. Continue to get this going. We're just going to drop into position, so it's going to be dropping that straight down. The Zealot going to jump onto that engineering bay already. It's just going to get going with that right from the very get-go here. And yeah, Zealot just going to swipe away. SCV going to take some damage as we speak. And again, concussive shells on the way up as well. So you've seen the Zealot and the probe and the Stalker coming through, but like I say, that concussive shells, and now Hero is, Mana is like, oh, let's go across the map and start moving out with these units. That's not good when concussive shells is in play, because those units are going to get caught with no real good way to retreat. This is actually very, very bad for Mana, who... I mean, those units actually just going to have to recall home, I think. Maybe is better than getting caught on the map. Obviously, having to spend the time recalling is going to be rough, as Mana's just now going to start realizing what's up. As there's no defense to this Nexus, you know, because the Nexus was delayed anyway. Oh, well, Spirit doesn't raise his wall off, so that's going to make life a little bit more complicated for Spirit than it maybe had to be, so I guess that will be a head turner for a couple of moments as well. Probe will go down, like I said. Mana's defense is non-existent. He will be able to pull probes, but pulling probes into this is obviously kind of rough because there is Marines with DPS as well. There's the recall home on those couple of units. That Zealot's already hurting, actually, and this bunker is about to finish. Gonna try for the SCV build in the bunker. If that bunker finishes, I think Mana is really in a ton of trouble. Right now, that bunker will continue to provide high ground vision, even if the SCVs had gone down. As the probes hold position for a moment there, but we target fire down one Stalker, and Spirit is able to get a grab on that. Now the probe's still looking for their wraparound. We actually get the next Stalker in concussive shells. And these Marauders are still so healthy, honestly, is going to go back up this ramp. Bunker should be able to finish as well. I don't think anything denies this now. And Mana just has to say GG, and that is going to do it for us on this opening game. Spirit just able to take the first map of this best of 3 just like that. So there you go. Spirit able to get a 1-0 start. And we'll head into game number 2 in a couple moments, get this underway, and head into our next match of this best of 3, because that was a very quick way to begin. All just went right for Spirit as Mana doesn't spot it, doesn't see what's coming, really is out of position, has no defense ready. A little bit too kind of distracted by the engineering bay block, realistically, at the end of the day. Okay, the nice thing if we see Serral versus Spirit is that we haven't seen that matchup yet, so it is a different matchup for us. It's just the fact that that match between Mana and Serral was so cool before, I would not have minded seeing the rematch there, honestly. I guess gonna get, like I said, just into this next game whenever I guess hosted up, taking a little bit, but there it is, lobby coming through, and jump in for game number 2 here of this series. We're going to go to Frostline to try and get Mana back on track here against Spirits. Away we will go. Alright, jumping into Frostline. Spirit leads it by a game. Game number 2 coming up, guys. This is the Big Liuli Cup. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Let's jump into Frostline. Alright, so away we go. In the bottom left is going to be our blue Protoss. It is going to be Mana. As in the top right, our red Terran is Spirit. So, game number 2. As we have Spirit up 1-0 in this best of 3. And going into game number 2. Now let's see what Spirit plans. Obviously, a CC is very different already to what we saw previously. SCV coming across, just gonna go try and drop the the refinery down. And the orbital command center, the refinery, continue to come up here for a few moments. Get settled in for the first few moments of this. The probe coming back around the right hand side. All command and CC coming through. Next, and the cybercore coming up as well. Again, that assimilator coming through. As our probe is settling in the upper right. Again, that marine production continuing to come out here. The warp gate coming online. Marine's going to go and grab a probe, so that probe is going to go down. It's going to be a nab. Take those. As a couple of Marines continue to join up together. And the Twilight Council coming out as well, so a little bit of everything continuing in for the moment. We have a couple of additional barracks in production as well. So we're going to play the 3 racks, pretty aggressive setup. So from game 1 to game 2, both have been kind of pretty aggressive ways of playing. This Adept just continue to shade across the other side for a few moments, so bring this Adept over. Move that about a little bit. Obviously, we'll use that for some information gathering here initially, Mana, and just try to see and know exactly what is going on at any point in time, so just trying to keep that info alive and well. As the Adept will actually be able to grab a Marine here as well, so you take what you're given, and for some reason Spirit gives up a Marine. Just trying to get on the map for some information himself. This is an opening where Spirit has done, I think, a very typical Spirit thing, which is to be a little bit greedy and skip the Reaper, which means that you are a little bit blind. So just trying to get that Marine out for some info can be nice, but that's what the Adept will just shut down from the very get-go and just say, nah, not getting anywhere from here. Not on my watch. Ain't happening. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Stimpak coming through. Factory in the Engineering Bay coming up. SCVs, Marines, Combat Shields will continue to produce through as well, so we just bring the rest of that into play. Probe facility about to finish. The Blink coming online. The Stalker coming through. The Assimilator as well. And we just get some extra bits and pieces coming through for the next few moments as a couple Stalkers get warped in. Again, that factory about to finish up. The refinery still building online as well. The depots also getting added on for the moment. Impact will complete. Combat Shields is halfway done. The Starport halfway through as well. The Stalker's blinking through the natural, beginning to move out onto the map. Quite a lot of Stalkers. We warp in 3 more. Remember, this was a bio-first or biocentric opening, so we're not really set up tech-wise defensively. But we have got a lot of units, but if you can shave away at some of those units, then that would be nice. Like I say, there's not going to be siege tank support or anything to really kind of aid you here for any kind of a defense from Spirit's point of view, so it's worth keeping in mind. As a few more Stalkers get warped in right off the bat. Can I tell understand? Oh, sorry, guys. Super sorry. My bad, I just didn't look at chat for a while. I was watching the game. Apologies. Yeah, I just I muted it quickly. I have a setting right now where like I still hear it and you guys don't because I've been doing a couple of things pre-stream and stuff. So my apologies. I muted it between games, which is very unnormal. Usually I only mute it if we go between series at most. Usually if we only go into a break, but yeah, I just muted it because I was opening a file and just wanted you guys to hear anything or get blasted by sound. And then I forgot to turn it on, so apologies, guys. Just watching the game, didn't check in on chat. My bad. Stalker's going to come through. A couple Marines going to take some shots. So a few more hits just coming through. And that Bioforce will keep those Stalkers pinned back here. Not looking pretty for Mana, who loses a lot of Stalkers, a Prism, and he's really just not done enough here, in my eyes, to have given up those units. Stalkers are expensive. They're not easily replaced. They are very difficult to get back on track with. So, definitely not ideal. Definitely not where you really want to be. Let's just have a couple more Widow Mines dropping off already. Bioforce going to continue to move over to this left-hand side for now. Stalker's nearly walking up into that Widow Mine. Not going to go for it, though. I'm just going to see that +1 attack coming through. The couple force fields coming into play. The Medivacs loading up and dropping back down. And back over to the left. There's another cannon that gets placed in straight away as well. It's just going to bring that straight through. Again, CC coming up. +1 attack and Immortal production continuing. The Bio with the Stim is going to go after a few more Stalkers as well, so a little bit more damage done in that regard. Let's find some extra bits and pieces to get up this ramp. Already a battery taking some damage also, so got a little bit more done there. The Medivac's going to come boosting through. Widow Mines actually going to get fully burrowed. Oh, Mana didn't blink the Stalkers. Pulls the Pro. I feel like he's almost just knowing that he's dead, and he was just making an explosive finish. GG. And that's going to be Spirit taking the 2-0. Pretty comfortable win from Spirit with a little bit of a cheesier play and a little bit of a more aggressive play. Ellie's return. She's like, oh, you finished the game. Is it time to eat again? Hello, Ellie. You alright, baby? Hi guys. Oh babies, what do you want from me, hey? You don't usually bother me while I'm working. What's up? I can give you all the love in the world. That's pretty much all I can do. Alright guys, game number one of our final series of the day will be coming up shortly, as it will be Serral versus Spirit. So we are going to get the one we didn't see earlier. A little sad to not see the rematch, honestly, but all good. So we'll just wait for them to do their vetoes, and we'll be off and away. Yo, Foo-K, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Serral can lose against Hero. Well, Hero played probably, I think, better than Serral, quite comfortably so. Wouldn't really say it was too surprising when you watch the games. So, yeah. Probably like that, I guess. Probably like that. Alright guys, like I said, just chilling. One final match coming up. One final best of 3 today. Spirit versus Serral. Okay, I kind of do hope for some long games, though. Long would be fun, I guess. Long would be fun. Last year, no one could beat Serral or Clem and suddenly started losing a lot. I don't know if Serral loses a lot. And Hero's very good. Hero is very close to beating Serral in eSports World Cup as well. But that was an extremely competitive series where I think Hero played better for 90% of the series. The 10% of the series where Serral played extremely well and Hero made some mistakes was what cost him. I mean, it was a very good series. They both played very well. Maybe the 90% is not even really correct, but the point is Hero played an extremely good series against Serral at eSports World Cup. I don't think it should be too surprising that he can win a best of 3 against him. Just waiting, guys. A few moments. Back on track. Do. Cross is very broken. Yeah. Cross finally won a series for the first time in like 3 years. That's it, guys. It's broken. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Missed the beginning. Time to say hi to Woody from almost 3 hours ago. Hi. You're still listening 3 hours in. Hello. Yeah, I guess. Hope you enjoyed your hope you enjoyed your time watching. It's actually kind of funny about YouTube chat. A lot of people actually comment in the live stream, but that comment is like they're watching like a rewinded version or something. So they comment on something like 6 minutes ago or even longer, you know. It's always I always find it a little bit funny. Because I feel like sometimes I like see a comment, I'm like, I'm trying to think back to when that like might have been relevant on the stream, you know? Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Have I heard the band Kerrigan? No, I have not heard the band Kerrigan. Is this a joke or is it actually a band? Am I looking forward to anything soon? Like what? I'm looking forward to casting some Starcraft this week. We have some cool games and stuff. Next week as well. Going to a Pokemon tournament next weekend as well. That should be fun. Not really Starcraft related though. Straight have to travel to Finland for this match. Spirit is notoriously pretty slow vetoer, so not surprised about. It's all good. We get hosted up right now in the lobby, and we are readying up, so we should be good to go in a moment. There's the countdown starting, and we can get this underway, guys. So, action will resume right here. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate you all being here with us as we get ready to jump into more StarCraft 2 games right now. And away we are going. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Heading into ley lines for map number 1. of the final best of 3 today. In the top right-hand corner, we're going to start things off with the blue Terrans player, Spirit. He is looking to get a result here that has be probably Starcraft history, I think, actually. Because Spirit is 0-25 against Serral in series. 0-25, all the way back to when they first played in 2016. Spirit was not as good back then. Serral was not really as much of a god back then. Still growing and improving, but then still good enough to beat Spirit. That was a 2-1 victory in the WCS Winter Qualifiers. And now, here they are, 9 years later. And Spirit is still yet to beat Serral in an official season. That's kind of ridiculous when you've not beaten a guy in 9 years of playing against him. Don't get me wrong, these guys don't play a lot. It's not like they end up playing all of the time, right? It's not like they play super frequently. 25 matches is not a lot, but it's a lot not to have won a series in. Serral is 52-5 in maps against Spirit. So just complete and utter dominance historically between these two players for Serral. Let's see if he can improve that to 26-0 today. Or if he's going to take an early exit from the Liuli Cup. Would be kind of wild to see Serral fall out so soon, but crazier things have been happening in events lately anyway. As we settle in. To the early game. Hatch gas and pool, triple CC from Spirit. No gas, by the way. So just as greedy as you can possibly get. Almost to a fault where it's like, if you're this greedy, it's like, is it even good for you to be this greedy? Like, you're gonna have me asking some questions, if nothing else. Marine on the way through, a couple of CCs coming up at the moment as well. So just bring all of that out. SCV coming across, a couple orbitals coming up, Marine on the way through as well. So just again getting some little bits and pieces all on the go for the moment. Board coming over. Again, Link 3 coming up, a couple of Queens and drones all on the way by. And Marine will be popping out that racks very shortly, and yeah, just no gas to speak of. So extremely greedy here from Spirit. He's just going to try and do anything he can to take an edge in these early stages. That is everything that he has planned right now as this Marine. Gonna come through, gonna go nibble up at that Overlord. In fact, do Marine as well. This Overlord should not die. Just take some damage. The more damage you get on it, the better. CC morphing into the orbital. That's the third CC of the game. Coming through right there already. So just gonna get that straight into action. Bring this straight up, just going to have our top Marines still trying to guard the front the best they can for the foreseeable future. That's going to be their goal. Guard and protect and try not to let this get out of control somehow or some way. Just make sure that this stays in a pretty comfortable place for the most part. Our Overlord step up as well. Yeah, we really do just take a few moments to build. +1/+1 upgrades, of course. I mean, Spirit is expected to just sit back and build. He was super greedy. It's going to be difficult for him to have anything that's going to be substantially, harassment focused or anything for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, he won't really have an answer for the next little bit. As another depot will come down here. Just going to place at the front. A couple Lings going to go zooming and zapping around as well. So they're just going to go continue about, see where they can go at the same point in time. One upgrade, stim pack coming through. The factory is coming up on the main base as well, so we got that factory into play. And the Bayonets coming about. Just the additional drones production. The Queen on the way in as well. So again, we build up a bit of everything right here. Again, we get the armory building up there. Lings are going to come around, surround this depot. Still got the 1-1 upgrades coming in on the other side as well, so they're also just trying to get going. Like I say, once those upgrades are done, maybe we'll see Spirits get on the map. I mean, I guess maybe actually we'll have to wait for the starport to finish and medevacs to be out. It's very difficult to get on the map if you don't have the starport medevac support, right? So yeah, probably need that to get finished up first. Queen's gathering, mules are building, are mining. Things on the way, that Baneling speed coming up off the Baneling nest as well, so we get that on the go also. 2 key upgrades in the combat shield, also in production right now. Bringing that straight into action as well. Again, just seeing that Baneling speed still producing through. Melee upgrade is going to be a part of this from Serral, but they will trail obviously quite heavily. He invests in the lair first, which means the upgrades were not a priority. Compared to the super greedy setup of Spirit, then yes, you are going to be behind on those upgrades. That is not a foreign concept to a Zerg player. They are used to playing from behind on upgrades. That really should not be too much of a problem for them. Like I say, this is kind of an everyday occurrence for Zerg players when playing this matchup. Things will just finish up those rocks. They will go down. So we will knock those down. The 2-2 still coming about. Combat shield coming over. Marines are going to be turning around a little bit. The Ling's going to try and get a grab as well. And melee upgrades, muscular augments, all coming through. So it's going to be Hydra speed. It's going to be melee upgrades. It's going to be the combination of things on the go for the moment here, as we just have 2-2 upgrades coming about. The combat shield, again, marine, tank, medevac, all producing through for now to bring that into play. Marines get onto the Overseer immediately. Now the Marines go in the other direction. Queens are going to be there. Medevac's forced to lift off and back out. Not going to be able to stick around on that one. And 11 additional Hydras in production. The group Spines is coming up as well. Yeah, Marines stepping forward. And they're going to get rid of some creep tumors right off the get-go. The Lings are going to run up. The Marines are going to load back into the medevacs. Away they go, pulling out of here. And 2-2 coming through. The Marines in a siege tank coming up as well. Still got a +2/+2. Cancels the melee and starts to go missiles. So Serral decides that missiles is going to be the future for him. He's going to start working on those upgrades for the Hydras, making them a little bit more effective and impactful. And going from there. Lings just come straight across, whacking their way through. Again, the Marines, siege tank, +2 attack coming up as well. Bit of a Baneling connection coming in. Nothing too crazy overall, though, I would say. So we have our Bioforce continuing to step up a little bit in this push from Spirits. I mean, this has all been about this push. Hitting with 2-2, being as greedy as possible up to this point to have the best possible push that we can have. And now we're questioning, is it good enough? Lings on the counterattack. I mean, if the Banes knock through those depots, we would be right on in there. Serral is finally going to start sending those Banes forward. At least he thought about it. And in the end, he actually ends up pulling back. So this is not going to go much further than that, in fact. And Spirit is still set up on the other side. Okay, now Serral comes back in. He does send the Banes through. And this is an issue because now Spirit is going to have problems reinforcing. He's going to have problems affording anything. His economy will be in trouble. Serral doing the right things, put some pressure on Spirit on the other side, making it difficult for him to advance the position on his own side of the map any further. Here we go. Bane's going to roll down this ramp. Lings come back from the other side. The Banes are rolling off creep, which is not exactly fun for Serral, but he would rather them rolling off creep than anything else really go down right here, so he's okay with it. He seems to be fairly content right now as continue through. Have ourselves the Marines still trying to step forward. I mean, Serral I think did well enough here. It wasn't a pretty fight because the Banes, like I say, were slow rolling off creep for a little bit, but like I say, good enough. Now those Marines gather up. A couple of Queens are going to be there to fight back. Medevacs will continue to do some healing up. Two more Zerglings going down, +2 Carapace is about to finish. The Marines are going to be there to push the Lings back. again, so a little bit more damage being done for the moment. Marines going up, the tanks are going to siege, we're going to settle down with Spirit. Trying to relocate and find a little bit of a different position, in fact, right now, so trying to go somewhere a little different for a few moments. Gain still gathering here as the infestation pick comes through. Again, the links coming up, 3-3 upgrades coming online, Marines and depots producing as well. Just going to grab that siege tank, take that down, that out. Now the Vex will come boosting. The Hydra step forward. Siege tank gets taken out as well, so that siege tank will indeed drop. Scan ahead. The Marine's going to split. The siege tank has the option of what it will get up to, as the Hydras will just be slow about this. Maybe a few lings kind of stream down there when they didn't really need to. Drop over here is actually going to be effective. That might be a base kill for Spirit, which a big step in the right direction for him. I'm going to lift up Mr. Medevac, get away from that. Scare a couple moments as the main Marines here got chased down by some Banelings. We're just able to step away from that. That was not too problematic, all said and done. So that part gets cleaned up a little bit. The rest of the Marines gathering, +3 armor coming through, +2 missiles, +2 melee, both continuing up as well. So bring that into play. The few Lings and Bane's going to roll forward into this. The siege tank trying to fire back. The Marines continue to stem backward here as the Ling Bane continues to come across. Banes are going to connect into a lot of Marines. Damage being done across the board. I mean, that's the problem, right? If Serral gets any momentum against this army, then Spirit really... I think Spirit already didn't do enough soon enough, right? But it's only going to be getting worse for Spirit from here on out as Serral gets into better and better positions. Better and better positions, better and better places. Just kind of looking good all around. I think Bane will run straight through. That will be GG, and Serral is going to end up taking game number 1 of this best of 3. So Serral takes the first game. We open up right there. We'll head into our game 2 in a few moments' time. Serral, kind of doing what Serral does. Spirit, trying to do what Spirit does, honestly, but then just not able to be strong enough. He put everything into, like I say, that push being as powerful as it could be. This was not good enough to matter, unfortunately. Serral lost a hero. Yes, he did. Yeah, big result in the group today. So we heading into our into here in just a second. It's going in a few moments. Let's host it up. Alrighty, so it's going to be Abyssal Reef for game number 2. Big map, actually. Could be a long one, perhaps. Guess we will find out very soon. I don't know if Spirit's really going to look to play the long game instead of just playing the attempted timing again, perhaps. Alright, let's hop in, as we are going to have ourselves in the bottom right corner of the map. It's going to be our blue Terran player to start us off. Trying to bounce back into this series, it is Spirit. Taking on in the top left, our Red Zerg, everybody's favorite Finn in Starcraft 2. It's Serral. How about IEM? I don't think we're getting an IEM this year, guys. It is January with no announcements. think it's pretty safe to say Katowice is not happening for StarCraft 2. If it is, then it's going to be a pretty heavily rushed affair, I feel like. Unless they have it pre-planned and they're just waiting for permission to announce, but the vibes we've been getting does not really suggest that, so... Yeah, probably no Katowice this year if I had to guess. I don't even know if it's a guess as much as it's just like a very reasonable assumption at this point. It's like, whoa, no way. They're not just gonna run a tournament? Like a month, that's a month away from now? Out of nowhere? No, what? Ah! Do I have any plans for StarCraft 2 content if there's no StarCraft 2 at EWC/Circuit? Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Obviously I would look to continue to run stuff. I don't know if I would try and crowdfund. The thing is, like, I'm sure a lot of people will want to try and do things. I don't know if I could realistically, like, it's hard to say how much community support we would get. I would love to try and crowdfund a circuit, but when I say a circuit, this is not going to be like, I don't even know what's realistic, you know? And it's definitely not going to be anything the size of, you know, replacing what we've had. And I almost feel like that's the problem, where it's like, do people even want to crowdfund that? Like, what do you put the crowdfunding at to, like, actually make it in time? So do we just crowdfund as much money as we can and be like, hey guys, we'll just make as much StarCraft 2 as we can off of this? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of difficult to say what the right decision is there. And realistically, I can kind of run events like I've been doing without having to do like a larger crowdfunding spree. The only concern is that a lot of the time I put a lot of money into events. I also kind of get a lot of my money back because I cast larger offline tournaments, right? So, you know, I can afford to put more subscriber money into tournaments or ad revenue into tournaments because casting EWC and Katowice and doing the regionals can kind of maintain my own personal income, so a lot of the stream income can go back, like I say, into the events. So I'd have to do some rebalancing there, most likely. So, I don't know, to be honest. I think Shopify, the only big name that would crowdfund with enough money. No, I'm not. I mean, that's a sponsorship. I'm talking about literally, like, if we did a crowdfund effort. I don't think, I mean, we might, if we got something big going, it's possible we could talk to sponsors. The problem is you can't talk to sponsors preemptively because no one's going to put that much money in out of nowhere. If you have a product and you can be like, hey, look, we crowdfunded this amount of money, we're going to run a circuit thing or a tournament series. Do you want to be involved? The StarCraft community would love you forever. It's a lot more easy to sell, you know? So... yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, a circuit is usually... the idea of a circuit is that it's like, there's big events that bring the best players in, and they're once every so often. I mean, the problem is that big events like that do not have a good return of investment at all. Which is why even ESL had the regionals. The regionals were ESL's attempt to have a better ROI because they could make, essentially from the same event, you know, they could eventually get a lot more viewer hours on stream and a lot more statistics that are important to them. So it's very difficult for me to be like, hey guys, we'll crowdfund the money, we'll make a big tournament, and then we're going to have like, what, like 4 qualifiers, and like, you know, let's say it's like a week-long event, it's like, we get like 10 broadcasts out of it, like, it's a complete waste of money. But if that's what people want, then that's just not feasible. You know, like, we can't emulate the circuit in that regard. But we could do a bunch of smaller events and continue to have StarCraft be a healthy thing, and you know, make it so that, you know, we get a lot of different players involved and stuff as well. So, yeah. He's gonna come through, Ling gonna get picked up. I was gonna see, yeah, +1 on combat shield coming through as well. Quickly cut with pizza surprise. It's just difficult because what I do right now works for me, and we fit into a certain place in the StarCraft ecosystem where we fill gaps between tournaments, right? if we were to crowdfund something larger, we could make that a bigger event, but it would probably not just be like one big tournament. It would probably still have to be like some larger events than what I run. And, you know, they would still probably have to be spread out a little more so, rather than just being like a weekend tournament or something. You know, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, there's got to be some kind of balancing, because it's completely pointless to be like, let's crowdfund something, and then to just blow it all in one event. Like, that's great for the players. We're going to give them some money. But if we genuinely want to make something that has potential of continuing, and again, we're not going to continue at the level ESL has run it at, etc. But if we want to make something that can continue, it has to have some sort of way to stick around, and that's going to include a few more broadcasts and stuff like that, so... yeah. So that is, that's kind of where I'm at. I've thought about it. I have no idea what would be realistic. I didn't like when we crowdfunded the Cast of Civil War, for example. We crowdfunded like, let's say, like it was like $25,000 to $30,000. Like, that was pretty darn good. The Cast of Civil War provided a lot of good content over the course of like a month or so. You know, like, but I mean, $25,000 to $30,000. How much can we really do with that? That's like one bigger event that we could maybe draw out over a month or so. So then, is that it? Or is it better to make $6,000 to $5,000 tournaments, which we could draw out over 3 months? Like that's the problem, right? Like, it's very difficult to judge that. It's very difficult to know where that is at. Serral just completely crushes this 2-base attack to Spirit, by the way. Been going on in the background, but I don't think it's been that impactful, so I haven't really mentioned too much about it. So yeah, it's yeah. There's just a lot of questions to ask. And like I say, it really depends what the goal is versus what the landscape is and all that kind of stuff. Determine, organize, even make money? No. Absolutely not. Big tournaments... Big tournaments have never been about making money. Big tournaments are about... are basically marketing devices. The thing about big tournaments is, like, you know, for example, a lot of big tournaments over the years have just been like about filling a bit of space at DreamHack. DreamHack is basically a conglomeration of big tournaments that help to make this gaming event a bigger sell to sponsors, you know? The hat trick goes down. Spirit does get some success here, but he's heavily trailing in this game as he's still only on 2 bases. Obviously, like, you could argue I'm a tournament organizer, but the tournament organizing I do very much so supports my streaming, which is what makes the money, right? I mean, the problem is you got to pay people as well. Casters are not cheap even. You know, on the very lowest level, casters aren't cheap, venues aren't cheap. Yeah, I mean, like I say, replicating anything on a high scale is going to be extremely difficult. Couple Corrosive Vials trying to come down, force the Medivacs to dodge away. Marines tanks is going to be pretty calm, pressing through. Just going to see the Roach Ravager taking a few more shots as well. Army steps up from Spirit, just going to be seeing the Roach Ravager Bane splitting apart a little bit. Viper, Slings continue to come through as well. We are going to make a little bit of a dive in. The Marines, the Medivacs coming through. We actually sniped down one of the siege tanks. Serral is still, I think, extremely comfortable. Losing a hatchery was a bit annoying because it's going to dig into your production. GG is called. Spirit is going to take the GGs, and Serral is going to take the 2-0. Serral is going to take the 2-0. Yeah, it's very tough to say, guys. I mean, it might also be that if there's genuinely no bigger StarCraft 2 events, that we also... like, there's also the chance that, like, I don't know if that, like, even positively or negatively affects my stream. Like, as weird as that is to say, it's like, because it could be negative, because if a lot of the top players leave, less people are playing and less people have interest. But it could be positive to my stream because, like, on my stream level alone, there's more interest because we're the only tournaments happening outside of, like, a Master Colosseum here and there and, you know, some other things. But, like, this is the option for people to watch Starcraft. Like, it's just, there's just so much uncertainty about it. Like, it's truly a realm in which we've just not explored. So I don't know how to, I don't know what to expect. I mean, I know I might not even be the best person to run a circuit. Like, maybe someone else should. Like, I'm very good at running little smaller tournaments. I ran obviously the Cast of Civil War and stuff a couple of times, and the War Chest Team League and so on. But I mean, they were bigger projects where there was a lot more money. We had paid admins and stuff as well. So yeah, it's really difficult to it's really difficult to say because I think there's got to be a big conversation about what would be the best to aim for. How you get the most out of that, how many players are still going to even stick around. Like, a lot of players probably won't stick around, at least full-time. They'll probably still play part-time or something, right? But that's, like, a very different landscape as well, so that potentially affects scheduling. Yeah, I do not know. I think, so what I think would be probably best would be to do something along the lines of... I think it would probably be best to do something if... From the top of my head, if I had to make what I think would be a best guess at something that was somewhat sustainable, / could also be a bit larger, is I would say you pick 2 days a week to run the tournament. You run it over maybe 2 months or so. So you get, and you're just consistently doing it every, 2 days of the week. So maybe like Saturday and a Tuesday. Taking those out of my head, like a weekday and a weekend. So you don't take up the entirety of the weekend. So other tournaments can also run on a Sunday if they need to. Without clashing. And then you have a weekday that's just kind of to keep it going. I think it's good to have it spaced out. And then you run it like 2 days a week, and you run it in like kind of like, I guess, GSL-esque format where you have like maybe 2 broadcast days a week and it takes 2 months to conclude. I think that's probably one of the better ways to make something sustainable. Because it keeps interest, you're not doing it every single day, so you don't run out of content too quickly. And then you're still leaving room for the smaller tournaments and other tournaments just in general to exist. Right? And it's going to become a balancing act of, like, these smaller tournaments are going to have an even bigger role to play than before, so you've got to give them breathing room. You can't just be like, right, we're running 5 days a week, no one else gets to run everything, right? Because those smaller tournaments are going to become very important. So I imagine something like that, but then how much prize money you put in and that kind of stuff. That all comes down to a question mark of then just how much prize money, how much can you crowdfund? And then how much can you pre-crowdfund during the tournament? And how much interest can that continue to gather? Like, those are very difficult questions. But you could definitely do something like that, and then like a bigger event at the end of the year, like a full, you could maybe even run like a full weekend event or something. As like a grand finale at the end of the year. I don't know. There's a lot of that I think would be one of the better ways to approach it. That'll have things scheduled at different times of the day to cover time zones. I don't think that really works, though. I mean, so, yes, maybe you have to make it... I think we're at the point where you just have to sacrifice a region almost. That sounds terrible. But, like, I think you just have to direct it to be at the best time of the day for whatever you want to do. Like, maybe you can, like, shift the time zone. Maybe on the weekend you start a little later. So it's good for, like, America, for everybody, kind of. Like, it's always going to suck somewhat. Yeah. I've seen the pigcast on the random worker / mineral start mod. It's pretty neat. You think you could experiment? I'd have no interest in doing anything that's weird mods with different worker starts. I'm fully focused on just producing content on actual Starcraft 2. And for my content works best when I focus on proper, good quality games of Starcraft 2. Whenever I divulge into something different, it goes wrong. Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I really hope it doesn't come down. I mean, like I say run a circuit. I don't think it's really a circuit as much as it's like just trying to run some bigger events. Like, it isn't going to be a circuit, let's be realistic, but I mean, it's very difficult to put in place, and it's very tough as well because yeah, because it's very difficult because we're in a world as well where all the casters are casting all the tournaments, so a lot of the money I would also fund. You know, a lot of the tournaments I cast to fund other events now get casted by everybody, so my ad revenue goes down. You know, running my own events becomes more difficult. Like, it's a whole very complex series. What's up, Eddie? You have a decently long run circuit that isn't going anywhere? Yeah, we still got OSC, man. There you go. Maybe OSC can be our circuit. We all just buffer that up. If there's any sort of circuit plan, games and planning for that would have been finished 4 months ago. That's actually not true. There's been circuits that only got announced in January many a time that then started up in March, April. And admittedly that kind of circuit end of year was like October, but there's no reason at the end of year right now. Okay, put it this way. Say eSports World Cup isn't involved, but ESL get money from Microsoft or something to run something. It's very likely our circuit would maybe could start in April this year or something, and then finish at Katowice next year. You know? You see what I mean? Like, there's possibilities. I'm not trying to huff copium, but like it's not true that everything would have been in place months ago. That's just not how the planning process works. They're signed for 5 months. Yes, I know. I'm not. So the problem is that ESL are quite clearly, first of all, talking to EWC, right? Because ESL are very heavily involved with EWC, you know? Like, ESL basically run EWC. So the thing is, clearly that's been a discussion point, and clearly that's had some hurdles or whatever. When originally I felt pretty confident about EWC taking StarCraft 2 again, because I think the main reason that EWC wasn't going to take StarCraft 2 was because they were looking at something like Stormgate to replace StarCraft 2 as the RTS at the eSports World Cup. But it became very apparent that Stormgate was not in a state to take that role. And so I was pretty confident that it was going to become StarCraft 2 again. But I think, obviously, since the last time eSports World Cup sponsored StarCraft 2, Microsoft bought Blizzard. So now you probably have to go through Microsoft and Blizzard, and maybe something happened there, I don't know. And for whatever reason, maybe EWC does not take StarCraft 2. That doesn't necessarily mean that ESL's not going to do StarCraft 2, but ESL can't say anything if there's nothing in place. And right now, what might have been in place was discussions back and forth from EWC and Blizzard or Microsoft or whatever. And what might happen is that they may have come to a close fairly recently or not. They may even be still ongoing. And so no one can say anything. Because if you say something hopeful and it doesn't happen, it looks really bad. And if you say something negative, it's also really bad just from the start. So you can't say anything. You know, you're not allowed to say anything. And then say EWC breaks down, that doesn't happen, then you've got to figure out if there is going to be something, how that interacts from Microsoft's side or whatever, right? That's a whole new conversation that then comes around that you then still have to go into. Maybe at that point they could say, hey guys, there's no EWC this year, but we're in talks to maybe make something happen with Microsoft, right? You see what I mean? Like, I don't know necessarily if that's step by step how it goes, but there's definitely reasons. I know it's not great they haven't said anything for 5 months, but it's not as simple as someone just tweeting out like, hey guys, by the way, we're working on Star. Like, it just ain't that easy, you know? Microsoft you don't think all that interested? If Microsoft weren't that interested, I don't think there would have been an issue with EWC taking StarCraft, though. That's the thing. So unless, like, I wouldn't, like, this is just speculation, but I wonder if Microsoft will, like, no to EWC for whatever reason. Potentially because they wanted, like, why would they say no? if they're not going to do something themselves. Like, EWC is essentially going to give money to your IP to keep your IP relevant in the esports scene, which just keeps it more relevant in general, you know? So why would you not just take that unless there's, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're just like, no, we don't want that, and also we don't care. And then we just get really screwed over. So yes, I don't know, guys. Like, it's a very weird place to be in. All we can do is speculate. Microsoft has the AoE IP for RTS. Brilliant. Now they have an even better RTS IP. like just because they have an RTS doesn't mean that they don't want to do anything else. Do you think they're trying to kill Starcraft 2 so it doesn't compete with AoE? Like, Starcraft 2 was never competing with AoE. They're completely different games. You know? Microsoft and Blizz could want royalties for the tourney. I don't think it's... I do think you might have to purchase a tournament license. Like, that is a thing. Or there's things to agree upon. I don't know. Whatever's happening, it's weird. It sucks. It would be nice for us to know. Long time ago. It's obviously not the norm, and we obviously hope it's not going to remain the norm. So yeah. Not really much else to say than that. This is really going off topic. I mean, at this point, I'd like to say, like, we just gotta hope there's a circuit. If there's not, then I don't know what we will do. Obviously, I'll try and do something, but hard to say what that something will be. Alright. Alright. Microsoft won their supposed upcoming Starcraft IP FPS takeoff. You'd think they'd want to keep the IP and name. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I don't get. Like, maybe there's reasons you don't partner with EWC, but, like, if you're not going to do something yourself, I feel like it's very difficult to turn down millions of dollars of free marketing for your IP. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's nuts, no? That's just, none of it makes sense. Surely I have some connections? I mean, I have no connections. I'm just a random dude that enjoys talking about Starcraft, you know? So yeah. I don't know, guys. Yeah, that's it for the day. Is EWC not hosting Starcraft? I mean, probably not realistically at this point. No one knows anything officially, but obviously it doesn't seem likely, otherwise you probably would have heard something. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing Master Coliseum tomorrow, followed by actually want to ask Crank for Limo League replays. So yes, so what we're going to do tomorrow is Master Coliseum, then we're going to do a Lima League replays from this week. And then I have a new sponsor for the stream. So yes, we're going to do tomorrow Master Coliseum, a Lima League replays sponsor. And then we're going to do... And then after that, we're going to do, on Saturday, we've got Master Coliseum and nothing else. I'm going out on Saturday. Then Sunday, I'm not going to do Master Coliseum. I'm taking the day off. And then I'm not here for Master Coliseum next week, by the way. I will be here through the week for Liuli Cup and other things, but an OSC Championship, but I will not be here on for any other Master Coliseum. We'll probably catch up on some of the best of Master Coliseum, but not 100% sure just yet. Sucks that this has to suffer in silence due to business red tape. I mean, it does, but that's the problem with esports. Is that the problem with esports is that at the end of the day, it's like it's not like esports is really making people money, and hence. And hence, like, it's nobody's priority to make it keep happening, right? In a way, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's... it's a weird world that we live in. Right, guys, I'm gonna run some ads. I'm gonna close the stream off. I hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you guys, Hey, yo, Edgar, thank you so much for the $2 on the super chat. Thank you so much. Alright, you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time.